because I finally learned how to study, right? And I did some stuff on the end game. And so it's kind of like the whole process. And, you know, if you read the book, a lot of the stuff is going to be obvious. It's going to be like, you know, you should think about what happened in the game and why you lost. And like, oh yeah, obviously, yet people don't do that, right?
Which is super important.
Yeah. So the book is in 6 chapters. So the first chapter is objectives, and objectives are in Hearthstone just win conditions, right? What is the win condition in Hearthstone?
The sands speak, and I listen.
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I thought this was a philosophical question.
Oh yeah.
Win condition in Hearthstone is different for every single matchup. You have to figure out if you're the beatdown deck. You have to figure out if you're the like the outlasting deck, and then you have to play each game according to whatever that particular matchup is. So I feel like it's not static. It changes.
I think that's like the second level higher. I'm actually wanting to go a level lower. So you're taking like the high level of like what is like you're, you know, winning with tempo or winning with a value based. But what is the most low level win condition in Hearthstone?
Maintain your health and remove your enemy's health.
Yep, put their life down to 0, right? So even like a control deck ultimately wants to control the board so they can put their opponent's life down to 0 later, right? It just doesn't do that in the early turns. Every deck kind of has the same win condition, but it does it in kind of different ways. And even this concept of like winning with value is I've kind of already broken things down into smaller objectives. Which is one of the books called the mini objectives. So, you know, winning board, the value of winning board is when you have a bunch of minions on board and your opponent can't answer them, they can just do tons of damage to your opponent's face, right? So the first, it's kind of the idea is that you have your objectives, and your objective is put your opponent's life down to 0, and every action is either good or bad based on does it help you put your opponent's life down to 0. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So
very high level.
Yeah. So we break things down, and like the first, like, what do you think like the first things in Hearthstone you'll learn about, like the first like concepts?
Like when I first started playing, or when someone starts playing in general?
You could say yours, or you could say what you think in general. Both are fine.
Well, you start learning all the cards,
Mm-hmm.
and you progress to like learning all the decks and what the current meta is.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of learn like probabilities of certain events occurring. You learn how hard is too hard. Like, I think when I started playing, I was not averse to taking damage.
Okay, yeah. My dad was like that too, where I crafted him a Zoo Warlock deck, and he cut the Flame Imps for these lifesteal cards, 1-drops. He's like, why would I want to take damage? So, you were not, you were okay with taking, you're the opposite of my dad. Is that right? Like,
I'm very much a warlock at heart.
Okay. Yeah. So
I'm like, what damage?
Yeah, exactly. So the concept is like we break things down into values, right? So even there, like there was a value. So what were the trade-offs we did in our turn here? What did we? So when we did the order, it was probably better to do the bird watching first, right? To see what we get. But let's say we were to decide to go with the bumbling bellhops over the Hagatha.
Wait, can I ask you a question about that?
Mm-hmm.
So normally I would discover first,
Mm-hmm.
but because this is a card where it draws 2 minions of different types, isn't it better to have like a higher chance of drawing 2 minions of different types before you discover something?
But you were playing the bellhop. This is on turn 6, right?
I
Okay.
thought you were talking about the turn before.
No,
Okay,
no,
never
no.
mind.
So okay, yeah. So the correct order would say play this, and there was an advantage to playing the Hagatha, but it might have been better to do the other. So what was the trade-off between us playing what was the advantage of going the double bellhop versus what was the advantage of going Hagatha?
Advantage of going Hagatha is like drawing your spells as minions before you draw them natural. And advantage of bellhop is one of the biggest threats in the deck that I'm facing is Coconut Cannoneer. So I want to have like board presence to pick off Coconut Cannoneer before I die.
I think that the simpler answer was just tempo. Like you put 10/10 worth of stats on board there. And so that, gets you very close to winning the game, right? Where I think Coconut Cannoneers, maybe I haven't played against that much. I guess I'm not as afraid of it.
I hate aggro paladin with a passion. I love paladin, don't get me wrong. But yeah, Coconut Cannoneer instills fear in my heart.
Okay. So
I've died to it a fair few times.
Yeah. Interesting. So I personally am not as afraid of Coconut Cannoneer. So one of the things I talk about is, so in the world of poker, players are often, when they have kings, really afraid that their opponents have aces, right? So there might be a situation where your fear of Coconut Cannoneer is not really in line with reality of like, it's not as actually. I used to always hate folding in poker. Like I always thought they didn't have it. You think Coconut? Because I would have even traded. I would have gone face that turn and just put him down to 4 life. That's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
Because then it's so. But that's the concept of even me looking at that. That's a concept of study of having like networks of friends in the book, where you have if you look at like when pro players talk with each other, they all disagree often on the play, and you really get to see their personality based off what play they do. Some players are like the hyper aggressive players. Some players are the like, let's win the long game. That's kind of me. But so usually we have sort of our own biases in our play.
So it's interesting that you said let's win the long game, but then you would choose not to remove the biggest threat in your opponent's deck. Can you talk to me more about that? Because I want to learn from that.
I actually think me 4 years ago would have traded. But because I had this like, well, I have the 8/8s. I guess basically I think once they're at 4 life, they're just so. Their deck doesn't actually have like good ways to fight for board, and I think you had just won the game with going face there. You have taunt in the way. I don't know their deck exactly, but I think you're just under no real, like not like a real intense threat, and probably trading is almost always winning there too. But it's a spot where I think just in general like that going. So when you have an 7 attack minion and they're at 11 life, you have like 30 life. So you have a lot of life. You have the board advantage. You have more board than them, and you can put them down to 4 life, and your life total is safe. Just seeing not going face based on those general criteria is probably incorrect. The 7 face damage means you just barely, like you can top deck, Alakir there and just win from hand. Stuff like that. So when they're at, so it's a difference between like if they're at like 30 life, trading looks better, but when you can put it on to 4 life, they're just one real hit away from death. If that makes sense.
Yes, it does. I agree with you. In retrospect, I played that too conservatively.
Yeah, and what's interesting is that's a spot where it probably doesn't matter, right? So you probably.
But I could have won with 1 fewer movement on my last turn.
Yeah, and
there are games where like, and the reason I think that is important and it does matter is because there are games where sometimes you go off of like like how it feels, and not necessarily like analyzing the play as much.
Yep.
And so it's good to have that kind of muscle memory where, you know, you make the correct play whether or not it means that you would have won either way.
So the book in the chapter 1 talks about this conflict of like, do we do what feels, I'm doing air quotes, you can't see it, what feels right? Like, how do we decide what is good? And I talk about sort of maybe the deep analytical ways of good, but, you know, do we just ignore our feelings? Like, how do we use our feelings as a guide while we're playing? You know, because, you know, I felt going face was right. Like I'm still listening to my feelings there, right? So, well, how would you say you'd use your feelings? Where do you listen to your feelings versus where do you like ignore your feelings when you're playing Hearthstone?
When I say like listen to my feelings, I mean like I don't know. I don't really I go off of like what I feel is probable based off of statistics. Like, you know, does my opponent right now has 2/3 of their deck left? What is likely, and like what feels like the right play, instead of like knowing the exact statistics, I guess. Like, I know there are some players who know, okay, if I am discovering off of this particular card, I have this percentage probability of discovering this versus something else.
Yep.
And like, you know, but I feel like when I say going off of feeling, it's like a general probability instead of a specific statistic.
Yep. I mean, and that's the way I play too. It's too much energy to be constantly like doing math, all right? And you know, I say to my chat, math is for nerds, anyways. I was a math major, but I switched to physics.
Too.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it's kind of a thing of like, you don't want it. Sometimes it's good to do the math outside of the game. So like, let's say you're like doing a discover card a lot and you want to know like, okay, what's the probability that I hit this card? You might look up like, okay, there's 22 cards that this card can pick up. The 20 cards I can pick up here.
You actually do that?
I actually done the math, so I'll remember that next time. And that can be very helpful. So
I've literally never done that, but I respect the commitment.
yeah, so well, players don't really do that in Hearthstone as much. Players do that a lot in poker, where they go and analyze like the math behind it, because it's hard to do it live in the moment. So they'll, you know, I talk about a poker friend where what they did was they like looked at like 1,000 games, and I don't know much, you know, poker, but they found when they were calling an early position raise with ace queen on the button, they were losing money, right? And they had like 1,000 hands like that, and they had to look at a huge amount because they think, oh, ace queen is a good card, a good hand, right? But they were losing because your opponent often had ace king, and so they decided they should be folding in that spot. So that's like a really advanced thing, but you don't. That's more than necessary for most people. But that's kind of the overall concept of like going and doing the studying and then doing the math, but then in the moment trusting your feelings, and then afterwards being like, okay, my feelings were way off here, or my feelings were spot on here. Like, that's interesting. I need to remember that. So
on the side of my face.
So I think we're talking about, so we're the chapters. So we had objectives, which is like about breaking things down, and then into individual values and how we sort of use our feelings, or maybe we use pure, you know, different measures for what is good. Failure is the next chapter, and that's about like, okay, you didn't do as well as you liked. How do you use that? Like, how do you interpret that? How do you go about the next step? The next chapter is reflection, and it's about you kind of thinking about like what happened, interpreting. Oh damn, this is
I was like, oh shit.
yeah, you know.
They high rolled that.
And then
Oh, hopefully it goes face. Yes, thank you. Oh, bummer. What would you have done there? I'm curious.
Oh, completely. I probably just could have gone Ziliax. I also probably would have played just Wish Upon a Star a lot earlier. It's against Warrior. Warrior has really good removal, so it's okay. It's all about like having that continuous awkward pressure. So having your stat minions being buffed. I also think you played your Shutter Block. You kind of like forced yourself into to where you could have waited to play your Shutter Block to have more flexibility. These are all little adjustments, but you can see how complicated. Like you have a lot of different options every turn, and that makes it hard because it's which is the best option. You also have this amazing location, which is amazing with Alkir. So it's kind of a situation where if you get ahead on board and you can just have a continuous like small level of pressure. But your opponent is kind of doing a really good job of controlling your board.
Yeah, they are.
So, and you know, now it's like they have the 35 life, they have the location down. So I think we kind of structured our plays in a way that was suboptimal. Even here, I would have gone Ziliax because Ziliax value trades better, and you could use the life total. Why did you save Ziliax over just going the Murloc Grofin here?
I prefer playing Ziliax second.
Why?
Because I find that if I'm first, it's more difficult to sometimes remove my opponent's Ziliax than...
Okay. Yeah. So... Yeah, I think, you're right. Like, that's what's interesting. So, you're right that in that case, but there's just more than one case. So it is, and that's something. So yeah. So this is like this is my interesting impression. I think you like will have these situations. Tell me if I'm wrong, where something like goes wrong and you remember it, and then you turn it into kind of like this always principle of like, all right, never play Ziliax until my opponent plays Ziliax. Is there some truth to that?
Well, we're both mathematicians, so I feel like we're both averse to universals. I try.
Well, that's what I felt like because I felt like it was a
say
great spot
never
to
do something, like as a general rule, I try to not play with Ziliax first.
Okay.
But there are definitely times when I will, like with
Yeah.
you know, if you're in a corner or if it's like a huge advantage.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like Ziliax versus the buffed Grofin was like a huge advantage there.
Okay.
So I don't know.
So yeah, so it's it's and you can see like now the Ziliax is
Oh, yeah,
it's just
now
never
that
got to
would've
see
been
play
important.
there, right? So that's more my concept of like your life total, and it has the advantage of the Divine Shield where it doesn't take damage when it changes the 8, but the other one doesn't.
That's
so
true.
these are just all these small things, but then what is my brain doing? My brain's just doing all these calculations quickly, and then just kind of vibesing. I feel like Ziliax was better, and I can give you the sort of my pro cons checks of like the principles. But I think that's the kind of the thing. Let's actually, do you have a replay of that game? Oh, we're already getting.
Yeah, I could look through.
So we
I think we have that in Firestone, right?
So I have the Hearthstone deck track. Let me see if it saved it for me. No, it did not. Right, it's not the spectating games. But so yeah, so I think there just was like Warrior plays differently than like, so Warrior's a control matchup, and I think there's like, it's a lot about like spacing out your threats and kind of always creating this little bit of board tension. And I think there was just this I think the previous game, there was like, the overall vibe was like there was just a little bit of inefficiency, that you didn't always have this pressure, so you weren't able to get to your good plays. You know, you had that amazing Elise location, right? A 5/5 and +2 attack. We never played it.
I know.
We had the Zilliax, it was buff.
But then they cleared half the board, and it was no longer amazing.
Yeah. And so I think, you know, we had some, so this is the concept of slow plays versus fast plays. Where there are some, so I used to, I remember I used to coach Galakron Priest. Do you remember Galakron Priest?
Yes.
And what was the guy that drew Galakron or did the Galakron ability? I can't remember. Like, let me see, Galakron, Hearthstone.
Oh, Kronks? Someone in chat said
yes,
Kronks.
Kronks. And I had like multiple students that they would just never play Kronks. They would just hold him forever, right? And because he's not an efficient play, right? He's this play where you play him, and it's always only a 5/5, right? Where the other cards have more immediate impact. So. But then they would just.
But wait, didn't Kronks also have like a secondary effect where if you were also already Galakron, didn't it do something special for you?
Yeah, so they also would save it for that value, right? And then they just wouldn't draw their Galakron, and then they would lose. And there was all these spots where they needed to like take this Galakron play, but they wouldn't. So I had to jam it and like, no, play your Galakron and then play Galakron and win the game. And that was like a very common situation. So I think there's like this element of there are plays, and so it's hard because we like first thing we learned in Hearthstone is like tempo. Play your most powerful thing every turn, get on board, win the game. And then eventually we learn like, okay, what are the slower plays, right? Even you have a really interesting situation here where, what do you think is your, you know, the fast plays are like Murden, but what do you think is your optimal sort of 3-turn setup right now?
If I didn't have 2 taunts in the way, I would 100% play Murden to get rid of Mukla. But I think since we have Hagatha, we're looking at our 6 and 7, hopefully.
Yeah, I think especially now that we just grew this Grofin.
Even if we hadn't drawn the Grofin, I still think Hagatha's queen in this deck. So
yeah, so now we get we're able to let's see, what do we want to guess you the 1/1 into the 2/1 and then the 3/2 into the 2/2. Going face here. Okay, the opposite. So I think I would have traded in this scenario. You're allowing the 2/5 to take, but mainly because like we want to be going Shutter Block into like Fairy Tale Slime and win the game, right? That's kind of like our win condition with our hand.
Wait, what would you trade it into? The 2/5?
The 2/1, because I'm surprised. I thought they would have taken 2 value trades there.
Yeah, I thought they were going to trade the 2/5 into the taunt.
Yeah. So because we have a play here that we have, like, once we play this Shutter Block into the Fairy Tale Slime, if we can manage to control the board long enough to get that down, it's over. Oh, I would have traded on the 5/6 here.
Really? Even though we're still at 26?
Yes, because basically them like doing a bunch of face damage is the only way you lose. Because once you slam this Wish Upon a Star, you're so ahead. And you can see like they're gonna remove this stuff and then push 5, where they would now, you took 2 attack off the board instead of 5. And once we play this Wish Upon a Star,
I was trying to stay wide.
Why do you want to stay wide there?
So that we have more buffed minions from Wish.
Yeah, so I think that's really optimistic. I think our opponent's very likely to remove our minions here, and they did.
Okay.
So
That is a character flaw of me in general. I'm overly optimistic.
yeah, so it's I try to be both paradoxically like optimistic and pessimistic, where like things are gonna go badly, but we'll be okay, you know? So
That's funny.
So we actually have an interesting, I think we can probably get away with the Wish Upon a Star, but you can see they're going to get, a lot more damage. I
think we're okay though.
Yeah. So.
Because we have double gigantic Growfin, and like the most they're going to get off of this is Kings.
Yeah.
Probably.
They can create like this location is like bullshit generator, we don't know. So I think like say this so what was I saying? There's just a lot of things that can happen here where even this, like they got taunts now, and see how this taunt means we can't clear
but
the 5/6.
That's okay because we have Muradin.
Yeah, we don't even really want to be playing Muradin here though. Like we want to be playing.
We don't. That's true.
Yeah, he's not.
But like if we're worried about not going face, we still get to go face. And we get rid of this pesky Mukla that's been on board for like 3 turns.
But I think they're gonna come kill you here. I think we have to adjust and go triple Frosty Decor here. Otherwise we're gonna die. Did they miss 5 here? They did miss 5.
Oh yeah, that looks worse.
So I think we have to go like Shutter Block into Frosty Slime here, because that's like, otherwise you're at 2 risk of dying here. But you could see why, like, if they hadn't gone face, we would be at 4 life, and they would just be able to go Fireball face here, right? So this is like 4 turns ago, like why I wanted to kill the Mukla so badly, because you have this powerful value engine.
I get that now.
Right? So what am I doing on, like, because we're talking about the high level, what am I doing at the high level? I kind of have a general adjustment of, I know we're going to have a huge tempo advantage if we can get the 7 mana card down. So I'm negating, because the 6/4 into the 2/5 is probably the better value trade. But I'm going against that because I'm saying we don't need to do big value trades, because we're going to have so much value in the form of overstated minions that we don't need that. You see like the kind of the high level adjustment I'm making there?
Yeah, I was just worried that this was like a Protoss quest hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
And I have died to Dios Colossus on like turn 8 with, I don't know, 40, 50, 60 armor.
Mm-hmm.
But like, okay, so when you're weighing a threat like that, how do you decide whether to deal with an immediate board or a perceived board?
Okay, so 1 second. It's we're dealing. So what's the perceived board? So what the immediate board is the 5/6 and the 2/5, right? What's the perceived board?
The perceived board is like, all right, I've been in this situation before where it's been like a Protoss quest mage, and I'm thinking I'm gonna die no matter how much armor I have. So I need to just like if they're playing that many Protoss spells, maybe I just rush and try to.
So I think like going in the short term,
which was also the strategy with Quest Warrior.
I think
because I feel like the longer those games go on towards fatigue, like the chance of winning just decreases exponentially.
Yep. I think after the game, so in the moment you gotta do what your brain says, right? You don't have it's too complicated. But afterwards, you could be like, wait a second, they never played a Colossus, right? Oh, they were quest mage, and they were running Protoss spells, but just to have the Protoss spells, but they never actually played the Colossus, right? And then you make the connection of, I don't actually need to be worried about Colossus. They don't actually run it in their list. Make sense?
Yeah.
So I think that's, and then we think about that, and that's the reflection step of like, what happened? What did we get right? What did we get wrong? And like the very thing is like, you might think they had a Colossus win condition, but they didn't actually have that. So. I feel like I would just slam Bellhop and then take the High King Hammer and go double face, though Elise isn't bad either. It's kind of my instinct.
I was gonna look for why would you go Muradin over Elise here?
I'm not even going Murder. I'm going to go High King's Hammer and go double face. So I think it's because this puts like 24 health worth of stats, and then you could just start hitting face for the win condition. So if they keep blizzarding you, so this is a 12 damage the first time, but then the second time it will be 20 damage, so 20 plus another 2, so 22 damage. So you can win in 4 turns if they just keep freezing your board. So that's like me thinking. So I think going Elise was okay there too, especially if you get like 10 mana location and a big armor play.
Well, and like this late in the game, I try to look for someone a 10/10 copy because I know I'm drawing Alakir soon.
Oh yeah. I think it's also, you know, recognizing like how close you are to winning, because you just draw Alakir, it's gonna have +6 attack, right? So that'd be, it already does 18 burst, and they have 26 life. So you would, if you drew Alakir, you would have lethal from hand next turn. So, and
That's true. I wouldn't even need the location.
Yeah.
Time runs out on me.
Okay, what do you think I want to do if so here?
What do I think you would want to do?
Yeah.
Probably get more armor because she could be holding stuff that goes face.
Yeah, but at the same time, so I kind of want to.
Or would you break this and play Muradin to get it back again?
Yeah, so I think so. I would go double face, then I'd play Muradin, and then I'd go Frosty Core for just 1 minion. I would trade on the 2/4 first, and then on the 3/3. I'm okay with them stealing the life. And what I'm trying to do here, I mean, they're probably gonna freeze, but like, what's nice now, I guess, it's nice now if this Muradin dies, we have 2-turn lethal from hand, so they can kind of just keep freezing. And we have this Murloc Grofin ready to go if they somehow, by some miracle, clear the board. So, but...
We have an interesting comment in chat. I think the difference between high legend and lower ranks is that at top legend, you can remember specific opponents and what they play. That's really funny. That's a good insight. Yeah, I don't recognize the names of most of the people I play against. But that is definitely a nice advantage to be able to have.
I think
I'm stuck just trying to remember archetypes.
I think so when I go play on Wild, I think I have a hard time getting the highest ranks, but I will just play good fundamentals. Wow, they did like some miracle clear the board. Okay.
I know that was nuts. Well, now we know one of those is explosive runes.
This is interesting. Interesting because like this is actually the first tough decision because we can. So if we assume one is Ice Barrier, right? This is 20 damage. So we have two main options. One is we go Growfin and try and win with tempo. We also could do something like Elise here. Take like even a 10 mana location and then play weapon and then get the plus attack thing, right? If we get the plus attack spell, then we would be able to go Wind Fury and lethal them because it gives a +4 attack. So that would be 9. So that'd be 18 damage. So that'd be exactly 28 damage over 2 turns. I kind of like that line. Let's go for that line. So play Elise, look for 10 mana location. You're looking for plus attack and then, you know, whatever after that. So let's see. Yeah, characters +4 attack here. And then I think armor probably is best here. And then you go, okay. Go weapon and I think double face. And this is me thinking like, I guess we could go the static shock on the 3/1, but now it's too late. It's probably counterspell though, so I think it's fine to not. So play stats. I know, right, Chris? That's all this game is, right? So the reason I didn't want to go Growfin there is it's much easier for them to just like freeze this than it is to stop this weapon win condition. Ooh, that could be another Ice Bear. Let's see, how much damage is this? Probably not lethal, unfortunately.
Yeah, we only have we have 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So if it's ice block, we don't have enough.
Yeah. How likely do we see what this was? Oh, this was from Hidden Objects, so I think it probably is ice block. So it might be better. I feel like we go Thunderquake first to proc the counterspell, and then we just go Growfin, and then we set up for 2 turn. We also could just go like location is good too. I don't know. It's what do you think? Do you want to go location? Or
I think I'd like to get rid of the counterspell because otherwise we don't want to just hero power for 2 mana. We can get the other static shock.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yep. For some reason I thought the static shock, the Thunderquake, would get. Well, let's hold weapon here. Let's not hit with it because it's better with the location because you get the +4 attack twice. So,
oh, true.
So. Oh, it wasn't Ice Bear.
No!
Ah!
Why?
Ah!
Why did I do that? Oh, now we're getting frozen. Now do I do it? Because then.
Okay, well now let's
oh wait, but they have to choose
shock.
between taking 10 or taking 14.
Take the static shock on the 3/4, and then go face 1, and then weapon hit the 3/6 on the second one.
Saved.
So what's a good thing? So this is like what the reflection step. The reflection is we thought it was Ice Barrier for sure, and it wasn't. And that's just a good thing to like think about. Like we thought, like I thought Ice Barrier for sure, right? So that's just, these are like the little things that we're gonna reflect more. Don't queue up into a game. We just want to talk about like what happened this game, and like kind of where our expectations didn't align with reality. What we kind of thought and then what actually happened. Oh no, dude, that's so unlucky. Oh my god. Death roll out of all the cards? Oh, that's brutal.
Okay.
What?
Oh, what? Wait, no, this is actually really bad.
Yeah, I think we lost. It's brutal.
Because this has Reborn too.
Wait,
what?
We'll give it. Oh no. Scammed. And we had the lethal.
Oh man. We still have Ziliax.
This is.
They're roping.
And we missed the lethal.
Well, what did they
It's
get?
my fault. So. In Young Bucks. What is the other one life? The ultimate.
We could get Ziliax here. But now we don't have the mana to play it.
So I think this is a really interesting game. Just so I mean, actually
Wait,
punish.
they have 11.
Yeah, you can play it. You know, let's give ourselves another turn, right? So
Almost out of cards.
one is like, I think, like, remember you kind of thought, oh, they're gonna like do this powerful Colossus play, but really the game went a lot longer than I think
It did.
you thought, and I think I knew that, like, because I've played this matchup, but I think that would be just so the step on reflection is just kind of like going to be like, okay, what happened? Where was I wrong about things? What plays? I think our weapon play was a really good play, where instead of just playing for board, we recognize they're freezing our board. We have enough stats on board. Let's start hitting them in the face, because that would have won us the game if like we hadn't played around Ice Bear, right? So that's something to remember. Like, play the weapon when we have a frozen board that our opponent is kind of stopping us on. So I think these
Why did they not fire lands first? Come on, bruh.
come on, bro. So
Oh, holy BM, right?
yeah. So
Based.
yeah. So I think that was a game that, you know, with a few adjustments, we definitely win that game. You know, even I think that trading the Mukla was a little bit better. Because we forced us to go our shutter block because we were under pressure into the 5-drop, right? Because we were dying. So
Which feels terrible.
yeah, but it was necessary. So
Yeah.
and it was a lot harder to kill that. So I think you went for what the traditional value trade when you're 2 tempo decks fighting for board. You traded into the 2/5 there, where, and that's something where I think you wouldn't have seen that, where that's like a nice thing to have, like a friend be like, oh, why didn't we trade into the Mukla, right? So I think that's kind of so the reflection step is like, and then also thinking like they didn't have Colossus and you thought they had Colossus, right? And that really altered a lot of your high level game plan, right? So that's another, like, I know it's like nobody does it, ZBD, right? Even I don't do it, right? I'm bad, you know. I do it a little bit when more when I'm trying to get number 1. But it's so I think that's the reflection step of the process of just, we played this. Where did things work? Where did things not work? What were we wrong about? What were we right about that we didn't expect to be right about? Like, what was a play that we did? You know, I think even, you know, let's say you play something, oh, they're going to play Zilliax here, and they don't play Zilliax. That's a good spot to be like, hey, they didn't play the card I thought they were going to play to counter me. Remember that. And we don't always have to like make a giant epiphany off of that. We just want to give our brain important data points of like how to reference what happened. That makes sense?
Yeah, I think so. I do reflect after each game, but I think what I need to work on is like basing my decisions less on what has happened in bad situations and more on
yes.
what is more common.
Yes. So
Because I know that, you know, Dios Colossus does not happen very often, but when it does happen, it feels so bad that it's one of those combos that I feel like I probably play around more than I should.
yes. And so the book talks about this, and I talk about, I had to fix this problem in my poker game. But the first step is accepting you have a sort of an emotional bias in your play. And what you have to do is you have to, so let's say we're overly afraid of Dios plays, right? Is that a simple bias? Is that fair?
We're what? Overrating what?
Well, we think after reflecting, we're a little too afraid of Dios combo plays.
Totally.
So next time, because you know you have this bias, right? We've concluded from this conversation, you're biased in this way, right? So next time, when you're in that situation, you feel that feeling of like, oh, the Dios is coming, right? We just say we're gonna fight that, and we're gonna ignore it completely. We're gonna go with like they don't have Dios.
We're gonna go with what?
We're gonna say they don't have Dios. We're just gonna fight it completely and ignore that emotional impulse, and do the other side of play not around Dios. That's what we do. We fight our own emotional instinct, and we get practice of even like this. And here's what's hard: once in a while, they're still gonna have Dios, and what your brain is gonna say is like, "I knew it! I knew I should have been afraid of the Dios. No Hands was wrong. I'm never not playing around Dios again." All right? You can't do that. That's the hard part. You have to be like, okay, sometimes they're gonna have Dios, right? Just like, yeah.
That is the hard part.
Yeah. And I would have to do this. So I kind of learned this lesson from poker where I would call too much, right? And then once in a while I do the discipline fold.
Okay, as a non-poker player, can you explain what is calling?
So, okay. So, in poker, you know, often you'll be in, let's just say you get the situation where there's two people left in the hand and one person bets. They might say there might be $100 in the pot and they bet $50. And either you have to put your own $50 in too, or you fold and then they get the $100, right? So that's the concept. So I would call too much. And I recognize that, but sometimes I was working on folding more, and sometimes you fold and then they show the bluff and you were wrong, and it would make me so mad, right?
No.
So mad. And I had to like recognize it's okay. Like sometimes your opponents get to win the hand. Like you can't win every hand, and that doesn't mean your play was even wrong. But like I would just so because I was. You know, it's funny, I can remember all these hands from my life where I folded and then they were bluffing. I barely remember the hands where I called and I just lost $200. Like I can't. So my brain is remembering all these hands. And if you know like the stream, I hate giving up in the game, right? And I ban chatters when they tell me to give up and I win. Well, I had that same trade in poker, except in poker, you actually lose money when you give up, or when you don't give up, right? So so I had to recognize that, and we all have these kind of, and then eventually, after reflecting enough, I finally figure out the logic of like why I have to fold, and why it's the right play. So it's very tough when we have these biases because these biases. But like the first step is recognizing you have a bias, and you learn that from networking, you know, from watching other players, from having friends who say, hey, I think you have a problem. You just keep playing around Dios. Like this is an intervention, you know, like How I Met Your Mother style, you know.
If that's what my intervention is about, I feel like I'm doing pretty well in life.
Probably, yeah. So yeah, so the book is like all these little things of like all these little spots where it's like, okay, you know, that stuff that I just talked about straight from the book, and of like how we approach these situations, and even, you know, figuring out we have a bias is hard, and you know, having I did an interview with Fury Hunter, and who got second place at Worlds, and the thing that he's doing way better than me on his habits is he's networked with all the pro players, and they're looking at each other's games, and they're analyzing every play, and they're pushing against each other, and they're getting everything perfect, and they're not just one person, they're a network of people challenging each other. And confronting each other's
like
biases.
hive minding every game.
Yep, and there actually are disadvantages to hive minding because you can get like bubble thinking, but it's better to be a bubble of 10 people than a bubble of just you sometimes. So
Wait, you could get bubble what?
or I'm more there. there are advantages of sometimes like being outside of the bubble, because you might come up with a strategy that no one else did. But
Oh, okay.
but usually it's the other way, where you're just one person and your biases. So having the groups of people, so to challenge each other's biases. So I think. So yeah, so I think we often have to study, because I'm seeing certain biases in your play that might not be obvious to you, just because I might be a high level player, but just because I'm a different person. Like you can find somebody who's gonna have a different bias and challenge your point of view on your plays, and then you can take that and then you can reflect and think, okay, where's my friend wrong versus where am I right? And that's like a really crucial skill to getting better, of like challenging kind of the way you're approaching things, studying and then reflecting. And that's like just a huge.
What biases have you seen so far from the small sample size?
Oh, I did even, I think some for like immediate tempo. Some also like I've disagreed a lot of spots you use coin. So of like, but I think you've done a lot of plays where I think I would have spent all my mana where you went for the most tempo on the board right now. And that's the default play. Like the thing is, like that's the first thing you teach a player when they're playing Hearthstone. Like they're just floating mana left and right. You say stats, 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 but eventually you have to go full circle and say, okay, we have the stats, but like what is the more like kind of well-rounded way of looking at it? So
Flames on the side of my face.
even this, I would have killed the 3/2 there.
Really?
Absolutely. I'm surprised you why did you go into the Zilliax there?
Because this is going to double every turn. Next turn, I can pick it off with Furious Foul.
Mm-hmm.
If I leave it there and I get rid of either Foxy or Pterodax, then I'm probably dying the turn after. You don't think?
Well, I think they're going to have to trade their Zilliax into your 2/4 there. And by killing the Foxy, they're more likely to have to do that. And then when they do that, it's going to be at 3 health. And then when you do that, then it's going to be at 5 health. So your Furious Fouls is going to kill it. You see that?
I figured they would trade the Zilliax into the Frog.
Let's see if they do that.
Well, now we don't know, right? Because Foxy's still on board. So if they're planning on shadow stepping it, maybe
they were able to do. So it's also an interesting thing that you're going to kill the Zilliax, but then you're still going to have to deal with this 16 damage. That's another kind of interesting conundrum here.
That's true, but that was not on the board yet.
Yeah. So it was a little surprising. This is tough. We're probably losing.
Yeah, I think so.
So there's definitely like biases I can see in your play that would be kind of hard to figure out on your own. And I think like the best way to go about that is to like study other people. Are you looking for lightning totem?
I was looking for spell damage.
Yeah.
Because then we could have gotten rid of everything except for 16.
Yeah. So the book is more just like how you approach this process of like figuring out, okay, breaking things down and then figuring out. I think the big thing if you're playing a deck is like if you're trying to get better at it, where am I doing things wrong, right? And I think one, the reflecting on like what happened in the game, talk about sort of challenging our emotional biases, and then I think studying other players, both like having friends and peers, but also, watching top players play your deck and seeing like, what are they doing different than their mind? Using the top players to challenge your biases, right? And I think, so the book is a lot about that. So the practice section of the book is a lot easier for Hearthstone because we have like MMR and we're always playing against players of similar skill. Where if you're playing basketball and you're always playing against your friends and you start to get way better than your friends, it might be not as good of practice. You might have to go up into a higher league, stuff like that. So.
Well, on that note, could I watch you play this deck?
Okay. Let's see. You want to Discord me your deck list so we keep that the same?
Oh, sure. Play versus AI. I don't know how helpful that would be.
Yeah, decomposition is a big game. Yeah, and it's hard because like there's so many little things in Hearthstone and people don't recognize it. And I know because I'm but I didn't know that for the first years I started, right? And you've kind of add one value and you add another value and you keep on adding these things. Even that that play where I thought we should go face there and you traded into the 2/6. I know year one me or year two me would have traded. Like I just know I did that kind of play all the time. All right. Super affordable. Yeah, so it's the book is cheaper than subbing twice, Leo. So, and I'd rather people buy the book than sub twice, because especially if you really want to help and you think it's after you read it, of course, and you think it's wow, this book saved my life, because now I can get Legend in Hearthstone. Then go write a review. So far the reviews are more joking reviews, but yeah. I think someone said
well, when you phrase it like that.
Yeah. I think someone said this book changed my life. Not sure for better, but it definitely changed it. All right, I'm in game if you want to spectate
don't
me.
be chat on the reviews. That's funny. Yeah, I'm not sure if book review community understand Twitch chat.
Interesting.
To read. I didn't know you knew how to read.
Sorry, Madija.
Do you think there's a benefit to buying reading it if you hit legend? Yeah, I mean, even pro athletes still go to training camp every year.
Fury Hunter.
There's always a benefit to reading someone else's perspective.
Reality.
I think Fury Hunter read the book and he
Oh my gosh, Ninja!
And he said, I already knew most of this stuff, but even just reading it, like to have it all kind of written out helped him, So it's a thing of a lot of most stuff. He's like, oh, I know this, and I think he struggles with like failure and messing up, and he's really good player, so something like that would really bother him, and the chapter on failure really helped him. So because he's gotten second place at Worlds, but he's also been in the Masters Tour and barely not made Worlds. So I think different people are going to take different parts out of the book and get value out of them. People are going to have different opinions. So any plays so far that you would have done differently? I'm curious.
My own?
Yeah. What you see?
Oh, 100%. I don't think there's ever been a game that I've played when there aren't plays that I would change after the game, even if I won. Because I feel like part of Something I'm working on is not snap playing.
Choices.
I tend to look through 2 or 3 different plays and then choose one. But after I click end turn, I often see play 4 or 5 that I like better than play 1, 2, or 3.
Yep.
And yeah. So each of those games, there are multiple plays that I would change.
I'm playing your deck right now. As I was saying, invite to spectate. Oh wait, allow friends. Oh, I didn't have allow friends. Okay, never mind. Okay. All right, so.
Oh, I see the eye now.
Okay.
Look into the eye of Mara.
Ooh, let's go. Double bumbling here. Wait, I don't have a thing to copy it. That's annoying.
Oh, you're already on turn 3.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, fill me in because I didn't see the first 2 turns.
So I went on turn 1. I had 2 primordial overseers in my hand. So I went and I had the 0 mana card. So I 0 mana card and then went coin primordial into primordial, and that was the start.
Nice. That is a dream opening
I
play.
believe they are Protoss Mage, so we have to be afraid of the Colossus. So.
But I just told myself to not be afraid of the Colossus.
Well, it's what does the fear of the Colossus even do? Like, we're trying to kill them. Like, does the fear
it's a motivation to to smork faster.
Yeah, I mean, that's just not how things work. You can't just, it's kind of like you can't just make, like, if you're working out at the gym, you can't just make your muscles grow faster, Things happen at a natural pace.
You're crushing my dreams right now. I hope you know that.
I would do this, by the way, if I had the big thing to go with it, but I don't, so I'm going to go Elise here.
Yeah. Fear the Fleet Skater more accurate. Oh. Yeah, they do get a lot of armor. Traumatized by Protoss Mage, it's true.
So anytime, like, I do a play that you would be like, I wouldn't have done that play. Let's talk about it, all right?
Okay. Have you named your dinosaur?
Oh, I have not.
Oh.
Have you?
I don't have one.
Okay. I didn't even know I could name it. Like, I mean, you just, like, casually, or can you name it in the game?
Oh, casually, of course.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't
okay.
think I don't think it has a card or anything.
Right. What about Steve? I feel like Steve's a nice Steve.
I'm not here to judge the name that you give your dino. I was just asking if you had one. If it makes you happy, then it's a good name.
Traumatized by Protoss Mage, yeah. So we have an interesting thing where, like, we love to play these bellhops. It's also like an interesting thing against Protoss Mage where sometimes it's better to actually play like a wider, weaker board because I was gonna say, ooh. Sometimes it's better because they have the Sleet Skeeter. So if you have a 6 attack minion and they freeze it, then it does more damage. Or they get less armor. It's not like an absolute rule. It's more like, how do I actually do that with my brain? My brain says, okay, getting down a Grofin isn't necessarily a strong play. Because when I get down the Grofin, my opponent is just going to...
Get more armor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
that's fair.
So now we're in this is really interesting because we might just have 2-turn lethal from hand here. So I can, let's do the math. This is 12, right? This is another 4, so that's 16. This is 17, or this is 18, and this would be 2 twice, so that's 18, 22 to 26. So we have 26 over 2 turns. So this is a great spot to weapon hit. They might find a way to freeze our face, We have to decide if we want to go pop-up book this turn. Like, if, I think we do. I think we don't press this, though. And I think that's a really scary line for them.
Okay, so this is really interesting because I don't think I've ever seen someone play the weapon, like prioritize weapon over getting bellhop on board.
Yep, and so this is a spot where we know their deck is good at removing their boards. We also know that their deck has the Sleet Skater, which can be this. They might gain armor, and this play might not work, but it forces them to respond. And also, even if they respond to these frogs, which is scary for them, right? So this is like a very, I understand the strengths and weaknesses of their deck, and this is a very classic, like, I'm setting up 2-turn lethal play. By setting up 2-turn lethal, I limit their plays, and now we're gonna win. Got him. All right. Oh, it's like ultra winning, but I'm just gonna go with the line that I had. So I think that's like a really, you know, I've played a lot of like this kind of archetype, and that's the skill of like knowing how to set up a 2-turn lethal from hand. And I saw that, and I went for it, and it won. They played the Colossus, and we still won, by the way. So even the big Colossus that we were so scared of didn't stop us. So what are, like, what, you know, we reflect, we say like, okay, the Colossus with this didn't kill us. 2, the weapon from hand over 2 turns was a really strong play. Now I'm kind of reflecting on things like things I already know work well in that matchup did well. So I already kind of knew some of the tactics there, but sometimes you just accidentally do one of those things, right? And you're like, oh, that worked. And then you remember it. You can either accidentally do it or study somebody else. Those are the 2 ways you more learn new techniques. So if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I think like one, the disadvantage of going the weapon is they might just do some more the 2-mana armor play, right? And deny our 2-turn lethal. There's not a guarantee there. And usually traditional Hearthstone says stats on board most important. So we have to be able to make some adjustments. And you know, there wasn't a perfect like there were trade-offs to that play, but it worked out. And even just with us remembering like that worked out this time, because you know, even saying like we didn't need to be afraid of Colossus, they couldn't kill us. So there's all these little reflections that we can get after that game to adjust our future plays, and that's like the power of the reflection step. And then the studies.
The other thing I really liked about you playing the weapon there instead of the bellhop is that a lot of Protoss spells are removal, and so you by limiting the number of minions that you had on board, you effectively made it so that they couldn't ramp up their Colossus to as much damage. Because I feel like when a lot of us see a Colossus, it does a lot more damage than it just did to you, which gave you that extra turn.
Yeah. I think the big thing was just like me, but yeah. So what we did, we did some chip damage. They were moved. We saw, we got the direct damage for Elise card. The +2 attack worked really well, and we killed them from hand. So just knowing that's an option helps us direct our win conditions better. Because we could have gone for like a shutter block into the 8-drop play and put 32 attack on board. There's a lot of ways we could have approached that, and that's kind of what my instinct was. But yeah.
Yeah, no, that was good. I'm gonna remember. I'm filing away the weapon play.
Yeah, and so the weapon play is like not so. What's a matchup that like the weapon play is often going to be bad against? That's popular in the current meta.
Aggro paladin, aggro demon hunter.
Yeah, maybe not. I'm not sure what aggro. So yeah, so you're thinking of these tempo mirrors. And that's right. Like in tempo mirrors these burst plays. So I think one of the things is I saw from your game against Warrior. Wait, what do I keep Bellhop here? Just I don't know. This might be bad mulligan. I thought about doing something weird there. So this mulligan might be bad. This isn't a spot where I did a mulligan and after the end of the game I might reflect, oh, that was a good or bad mulligan. Where was I going with this? So I felt like when we were watching your Warrior game, you were playing it like you were playing against an aggro demon hunter. You were just like very much fighting for board. And I think we want to approach the Warrior matchup different than we approach the tempo matchup. But
Do you feel like that matchup is winnable after they play the quest reward?
Yes. You have
Okay.
So if you're putting continuous pressure on, right, and they're always anxious and they're using a brawl, sometimes they'll play the quest reward and then won't draw their list. And you know, let's say you get to full health because you use the Ziliax, and they all of a sudden, you know, while they have powerful stuff, you went triple +2/+3. So your minions have absurd life. Every minion you play is a potential death for them. So that's the power of this deck, like that it can just crush these really greedy decks with even more greed if it gets the right hand. So, sorry, what was my point? But yeah, so the weapon play I did would be really, I was gonna say, is bad against like Discover Hunter, because you do that and all of a sudden they just put those 2/4s in the way and you can't get through, and now they have board and you're kind of just dying. Make sense?
Yeah.
But it might be good in a situation where they have the 2/4s in play, but you happen to have
Static Shock.
Static Shock, or maybe it's like a little bit later and you have already played Shutter Block and you can go Shutter Block plus Grofin and get through those taunts and go lethal. There might be situations, but I'm more just saying the simple. This is interesting of like whether it's Hagatha or Elise. I could see either one. I think I'm gonna go. What do you think it is?
I would always go Hagatha.
I'm gonna go Hagatha here. I think Elise is also reasonable here, but I think it's Hagatha. Usually gets us the 5-drop and the 7-drop. We actually wanted to give us one of each. Ooh, this is bad. We wanted to get. We didn't want it to give one of both this, because now our turn 5 is bad here, right? So if we knew it was gonna be this, it might have been better to go Elise there.
But would you ever think about going Elise for 1 here, since you have like Elise, a wider board?
I think so. Lisa for 1 is probably good, but not because it's the wider board. It's more because I have a great turn 6 play. I have a great turn 7 play. So when am I going to play this 5-mana location if I play it? You know, it's super awkward. So I think Elise for 1 is our strongest tempo play, and because we're also up against a rogue, which is more of a tempo class. Yeah, that allowed me to get some value trades there. I got the Furious Falls, which and then we got the cat, the Wish Upon a Star, and this is a real kind of nice situation. This is a little awkward because yeah. That's why I usually go least. We were just talking about Crony. Something fails you and you say, all right, this failed me. I'm never going to do this play again. That's what we don't want to be doing, all right? Ooh, is it Furious Falls or Frosty? I think our life total. I think we'd rather play on Curve. Now, I'm not going face here. This is the opposite of my bias of what I told you, right?
Yeah, so can you tell me about that?
So...
Because we could have gone 6 face instead of 3 and only chipped Elise a little bit.
So I'm basically in a spot where I want to maximize the chance that my Wish Upon a Star is good. And so I could have put him down, and I think it's unlikely I get the 2-turn lethal here. So I just want to do the board that maximizes board pressure here. I don't have any weird lethals, right? Wait, Furious Fouls is 6, and it might have been wrong, by the way. Like if I had gone this, we would have had lethal this turn, right? So my play might have actually been bad because I probably we could have gone face, put them down to 9, and then had lethal here. But that's why I did it. So even reflecting, what's the reflection here? I think you're right. I think we should have gone face. But let's see. +4, that's 10. Yeah. So I think the reflection here is that because I had the second Furious Fouls in hand,
Blaze a trail.
because I had the second one of these, it would have been better just to go face. Make sense?
Yeah.
But I think if I didn't have the lethal from hand here, because if I know I'm going this every turn on 7, I think trading was better. So I think because I had this, I think you were right. And that's the even in-house reflection, like during the game, of just recognizing my trade play was probably incorrect there. And it might cost us, you know? They're doing this.
Nope, we're winning anyway. Famous last
Easy
words.
top deck. All right. I think I did that. So the reflection was, okay, it was probably better to go face with the double Angry Birds on the previous turn. That's like the big in-game reflection. Any other sort of things you would have done differently?
No, that's the one thing I would have done differently. I would have traded Elise
Okay.
to do 6 face instead of 3.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think, I wouldn't, I think if you're going to go face, then you go face with Elise too. So you do 9 to face. The trading Elise and is probably makes sense. So better off just doing 9 to face.
Why would you do 3 or 9 but not 6?
So 1 is a play that maximizes board control. So the advantage of going the 6 mana guy is that, so when you trade the Elise in the 2/1, your Elise loses 2 health. So that's why I'm doing the 6 mana in the 2/1, is I want to just maximize the chance that I have board control for the next turn. But like that play was incorrect, by the way. Like it would definitely, the more we talk about it, was go face. But that's the logic of why I thought that. Where if you trade, you don't have that immune effect. So if you're going to do that, then the value for Elise having another 3 damage is immense, because now their life total is really low and we likely have 2-turn lethal. So, makes sense?
That's fair, yeah.
So even just, you could see, and this is just
Board tension.
Yeah, I have a whole article on Reddit on board tension now. So
Oh, I thought Illidan was being totes and approps. Never mind.
oh
Yeah, Murph Dog thought the same thing I did, so I got you.
Interesting evaluation bar where every suboptimal mood. Yeah. So it's kind of like the interesting, like the game theory spot to like trade in a spot where we really want to go face is if we don't trade, our opponent can counter lethal us, right? So it might be a spot where that's a very 1-0 situation, but I think that's the general principle. So even that game, like I made that mistake, right? Like there's always this active reflection, like just go kind of knowing what kind of values we have, and then like reflecting on how those plays went. And I have chat always yelling at me, why didn't we do this? So that's
So I have a follow-up question. Your line of thought on keeping Elise's health. I mean, they could have traded and then she's still down to less health. So what is
Well, so when I do the 6-3-3 in, we have 3, 6, 10, 11 health on board. Because the 2-1's dead. Where when we trade, or even they trade, then we have 9 health on board. So I'm maximizing board presence there. So I can maximize my chance of my 7 drop doing good. But like we said, probably the incorrect play.
Okay. Experts at finding infinite mana lethal. That's a funny comment too, because I feel like we're both streamers, so we're used to people commenting on our games all the time.
Yeah.
When I watch someone else as a viewer, it's like so hard to watch.
Yeah.
Because we all have our own play style, and you know, like I'm sure chat feels this way sometimes too, where they're like, "Why did you make that play?"
Yeah.
But yeah, infinite mana lethal is funny.
The skill as the streamer is you have to invent a rationalization that why your play was perfect, and
That's funny.
I always assume that I'm incapable of making a mistake, and then that makes it easier.
It's funny because you and I are both like such optimists, and then to hear you say, I always think I'm incapable of making a mistake, whereas I am optimist, but I always think I've probably made the wrong play, which is like, you know, like after every single turn, I usually am thinking like, like second guessing, should I have done option like 3, option 4? Are you saying that in jest, or do you usually feel like you've made the right play every turn?
I actually think like earlier on I would doubt my plays a lot more. It's more as a streamer than as a player. Wait, did my opponent throw here? Wait, no, okay. They had enough corpses. It's more as a streamer, you know, I have to create the illusion. So chat, trust me, that I'm incapable of making a mistake, right? You have to destroy evidence that of past mistakes. But yeah, I think
Wrote a book, surely no bad plays. That's good.
Yeah.
The citadel.
Makes no
Oh, we'll go with that.
Oh, did we just win here? Holy crap. This is Oh wait, no, I'm 1 off. Whoops. Whoopsies! I thought this +1 attack would be
it's
double.
still a really great position to be in.
Yeah, my brain thought like Wind Fury and went +1 attack and thought it would be lethal, but I actually think this is the right play because the ultimate flex is putting your opponent's life down to 1. So
Yeah, and they have 2 corpses, so they're not in a good spot.
yeah. Dude, we're winning so fast today. We're playing Quest Warrior yesterday. It's taking forever, so. I'm reading the book now. I never make mistakes, yeah. So, I think what's also interesting is like the idea, I mean, I'm sure you know about the Pareto principle. Because it's in math everywhere, but with distributions. But I talk about the Pareto principle of if you get 80%, the most important 80% stuff in the play right, and you get 20% wrong, you can still just crush it. So like figuring out like what is really important versus what are like the little nitpicky plays that, you know, the nerds who are trying to win worlds can figure out. But us streamers, like, we don't really care about. We're keeping things interesting for the chat, right? So
That is such a good reason. I'm going to use that.
Yeah,
Keeping things interesting for chat. Hmm.
fall for his lies. Yeah, it's I feel like I don't know. It's I would be the teacher that would intentionally throw misinformation to my students to force them to think for themselves. So anything else related to the games and the book and the process, sort of you're interested in asking about?
How about a general question, like
Mm-hmm.
just your experience as a Hearthstone player, because I
Mm-hmm.
get the sense that you've been playing longer than I have. What are like three pieces of advice that earlier Hearthstone player you
Yep.
wishes that you had known?
Ooh. So I knew a lot of the stuff that I would tell other people from poker. I'm trying to think of the things I would know. Um, hmm.
Like if you could go back and not have to learn something by losing, what would
Yeah.
that be? If you didn't have to go through the painful experience of
I
finding something out, or like
mean, I,
also in the vein of like you saying how you've learned a lot from like crowdsourcing or hive mind or discussing games with other people, seeing other people do specific plays. Is there something really niche that like maybe 80 or 90% of players maybe don't see that you
yeah.
feel is something that earlier Hearthstone player you would have liked to have known back then
I think,
to avoid the growing pains of learning the
yeah.
game?
I think I still was a little bit too much in all or nothing thinking when I started. And then like I'm just like this is the right kind of like, oh, I just do this tempo and I magically get the win. And I wasn't making the full connections of like values into like why they help. And what I was thinking about is like I remember like certain like little epiphanies I made. I remember so I would watch there's like a website where you could just watch replays, and I was learning Quest Rogue, and I was watching a Quest Rogue player play against Zoo Warlock, and this is the old Quest Rogue where you had to get all the 5/5s, or it was 4/4s at the time because it had been nerfed, and they just played their Buccaneer on one, and they didn't play Quest, and that blew my mind because I thought like, oh, you always play Quest on one, and I think just knowing that there's probably no heuristic or rule in Hearthstone that doesn't get broken in certain spots is just the right like, and you have to figure out the logic of like at the end of the day, it's all about what play wins you the game. And so I think maybe that of like knowing. So I think also it took me a while to like, I kind of like knew it unconsciously, but to really consciously understand board tension, which I think is like the most important thing in Hearthstone. Oh, this is a great hand. All right, we're gonna crush this warrior. I think I'm a really good warrior player, but I'm also even better of like beating warriors because you know how to beat what you love. So
Yeah, that's true. So why do you think board tension is the most important thing in the game?
okay, so I mean, probably spending your mana is the most important thing in the game. But after that, so the big thing about Hearthstone is that minions on board get to attack every single turn. So if I protect this 10 attack on board, this is like a pyroblast every single turn. That's absolutely huge. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So just like if I can always now, there's also this element of scalability. This is a very important concept in Hearthstone, where my opponent's brawl will kill 7 minions, or let's just assume it kills all because it's simpler. It'll kill all the minions, so it will or let's just say wait, 6. So they'll kill almost all the minions. So right now, Brawl only kills 1 minion, where if I had 7 minions, it would kill 6 minions. So there's actually diminishing marginal value by adding each additional minion onto board, because each additional minion scales my opponent's AoE more. That makes so.
That's true.
So these are kind of like the advanced concepts. So the idea of board tension. So there's like board tension and tempo matchups is a little different than board tension and mid-range versus control matchups. But it's, you know, if you're an owl TK player, you don't really need board tension. But I think it's like one of the most important concepts of just like knowing what minions to like are really important to remove, what minions aren't. And I think it's kind of what is interesting about Hearthstone is the board and how to utilize the board. Because other than, you know, you might be playing 1 card, but you might be attacking face with 3 minions and trading with 2 minions, and you got to get the order right because they have a taunt. So there might be a huge amount of plays on the board every single turn, and getting those really optimally and really clean will make you win a lot more.
Think about it.
I learned to be what I love. Yeah. All right, this is another spot where I'm turning down. Oh, I probably should have done static shock for 1. All right, I'm gonna mess up here. That's so I should have done the static shock on their 5, but I turned down some face damage. I could have gone just this, but this is a really good situation where keeping the max board tension is way more important. And this is just enough board where if they don't remove this, they lose the game, right? I'm gonna go Wish Upon a Star triple here. So that's kind of why I'm doing this. Ah, this jerkwad. Do something a little weird. Instead of going the triple, because I can do this again next turn. The counter is rat. But this is me breaking all the rules. I'm supposed to go Wish Upon a Star, but I want to keep board tension here. So I'm doing this now. This puts so much stats on the board. I can follow up next turn. Let's say go Bob, but yeah, those are the kind of plays that it's really, if you're coaching, it's really hard to explain why I think this was better. And it might not have been better.
No, I would have done the same thing because
Okay.
Dracorax is gonna clear, you know,
Yeah.
clear your board, and that also forces them to use a brawl if they have it.
And now I just follow up with this, and I get to push. This is like a really threatening board because even just sticking 1 minion here, when you get the Wish Upon a Star, I get to push 12 here. You know, bam. And now this is what I'm saying, where we get in the spot against Warrior, where every minion I play now is an existential threat to my opponent. You know, so that makes it really hard for them.
Another thing I've noticed is that you didn't pick off the hostile invader. I feel like that would have been.
It's a little too damaged. To
I
my
would
guys.
100% pick off the Dracorax, but I probably would have gotten baited into taking off the hostile invader too.
Yeah, but I have
Like
16
you
health on this
100% don't
minion.
need to.
Yeah, our minions are
Because
invincible.
it's so buffed. Who cares now?
Yeah. But I coincidentally waited for the Ziliax. That's the play you like, right? So,
I know, reinforcing what I should not be doing.
Yeah. Wait, is there a way to get through? Let's just this is easier. So now, like, my opponent's gonna complete quest, but what I love about these spots is when you're up against a warrior. Let's say they go brawl, right? Well then, I just slam Alec here and clear them, kill them. So they have to go brawl. They also have to gain armor, and then they have to kill the last minion, right? And how do they gain enough armor if this lists? It just, you get in this situation against a warrior, and it's just so bad for them.
Relaxation.
Oh, it is 100% not that deck. Let me grab it for you. There you go, Kirby.
No more holding back.
Easy.
Nice.
Easy. So, I mean, it's... So, you can see, like, the skill is just adding all these... So there's, like, the high level, and then there's, like, the mechanics, and... But it's a lot of, you know... There's a lot going on, you know? And I think, you know, I think that's actually interesting that we both thought killing the Draconix is right, you know? But you would have killed the hostile invader, right?
And then I would have buffed, and then I would have been like, shoot, I really didn't need to do that. And that's one of those plays that I was talking to you earlier about. Like, one of the things I'm working on is playing slower. Because I feel like picking off something that does damage when it dies is a snap play for me, and I'm trying to break that habit.
Yep, and that's like you recognizing a bias, and I think so the higher level skill is saying, just trying to almost say, how dangerous is this minion? You know, instead of just saying dangerous or not dangerous, oh, it's a little dangerous, or it's really dangerous, or it will win the game, or, you know, if it's or there's some minions that are actually better to leave on board. So if your opponent has a 0/2 totem, that actually might be better because it limits their board space, right? But it might be worse because they have the +2/+3 spell. So there's just all these, you know, but that's a lot to do in a game, right? There's a lot going on. But that's the general, the more we can sort of categorize and reflect and be like, okay, this, because a lot of Hearthstone is eventually you understand tempo and you understand board tension and you understand value and you understand the clock and you understand two-turn lethals, but it's finding the interaction between all of them. And what's interesting about whenever, you know, there's a rotation or a new expansion, every pro player becomes an amateur again because they're playing in the new meta and they're getting crushed because all their equilibrium spots are different now, right? So they have to relearn the new equilibrium and the new interactions between values. So I think for Hearthstone, more than a game like chess, you really have to understand the values and their interaction and then play with them, hit those failures, make those reflections to find your new equilibriums, your new local maximums. So I think where, you know, if you're playing a game like chess, you might just know, oh, this is the right play, and you forget why. You just know it's right. Make sense?
Yeah, because chess has been around for so long and doesn't have metas that there are literally books you can read that will explain every single play.
Yep. That's why Hearthstone's more difficult than chess, all right? The Magnus Carlsen, you know, it's no big deal, all right?
Wait, are you trolling?
Yes, kind of. Sometimes I do. I did post some like Magnus Carlsen thing on my Twitter, because you know, so.
Because I know nothing's changed in chess in, like, you know, centuries, but like that's still a lot of different plays to memorize. And I know that there are. I haven't played chess in a long time. But I know that there are some people who just feel so overwhelmed by it that they'll learn like one play style, and that's like what they're known for, and they basically only play that.
Yeah. That's what I did in high school, where I always played the perk defense. And I was better at black than at white because I would just play really defensively, and then I would wait my opponent to drop a piece. And because I was on fourth board, not first, people would drop pieces. So that was my plan, and it worked. This is really interesting. Like, do we go primordial? You think we go primordial?
Yeah, so I
here,
saw you
or-
go for bird watching there, and I would usually just against a hunter drop an unbuffed primordial. What was your thinking on bird watching instead of having board?
Well, I just wanted a turn 2 play, and there's not many good turn 2 plays, but I have primordial here. That's card draw. So it's actually very tough because like we could hit.
Plus, it gets buffed by Turbulus next turn. That's why I would do it. So I want to know the argument against that.
It also is annoying though, is like this when it gets buffed by Turbulus. We'll do it. Their most likely play is like coin Niall here, and that will create a 3/4, which we don't actually value trade. So it's actually close.
We wouldn't have been able to trade it next turn anyway. If we had bird watching, then let's say that we got our Murloc, we still wouldn't have been able to pick off Niall.
And it's hard. This Niall is going to value. Okay, this is not as bad as Niall because it doesn't value trade our Turbulus here. So I'll just do this. The thing I need to reflect on in this matchup is sometimes it's better to trade because I'll be like, oh, I'll go face, and then they do the Sylvanas play, right? Where that even like when you get anytime you get surprised by something, that's a great spot to reflect and be like, I wasn't thinking about this. Next time, let's think about this. And you can see I'm already recognizing they've played the Ranger Illyria. I need to be thinking at any time they can deal 4 damage to my board, which is pretty bad. So yeah, the chess meta has changed a lot, but still it's like, has it really changed that much? I know people do a lot more queen spawns openings now than they used to apparently, but it's awkward. Like debating if we trade here to like protect the 5/4. I think I'm going to. Questionable trade here. Questionable.
Why do you consider that questionable? Because I would call that pretty good value.
I mean, it's not. I mean, it removes a minion on the board. It's more just 3 face. You know, it's we're the aggressors here.
To me, in this matchup, like when you're against the Windrunner Sister Hunter, like what don't you consider clearing out minions before they get a bunch of Skrungucks and block you? Like, isn't that a pretty decent line of defense?
Yeah. I mean, but 3 face. I mean, this is a 2/1 where it's not that threatening. So I mean, I think the big logic of why is like I have this Wish Upon a Star in hand, and I also can like look for Shutter Block off the bird watching. And if I get this, remember, if we get this play down, that usually ends the game. So this is like the idea of I kind of know what kind of speed of a win I'm going for. And if I'm going for a slow win, then controlling the board goes up in value. Or if I'm going for a fast win, controlling the board goes down in value. Makes sense? Mm-hmm. So I'm going for a slow win here. I hit the Shutter Block, which is what I wanted. So I think I could go this, but it's not duplicated. So I think I'm going to do a super... Is it? I think it's actually growth in here. I was going to go this. But,
sure, but we have to continue putting opponent's life to 0. Oh my gosh.
And I'm going to do a super over boring trade. You know, this is because I have this into this, and once we play this, it's probably over, right? We even also just have like Shadow Block into Furious Falls as well that does like 15. So I don't know. There's actually was a case for going double faces like well, so illegal trades. Yeah. My chat is shaming me for those trades. But I think another it's
Sisters, my arrows shall
and this is look at literally the thing we were thinking about Sylvanas. And just knowing that
lead us to victory.
it's a little scary here because I want to go. I'm wondering if it's ever. I think I'm actually gonna kill Sylvanas here and delay my Shutter Block play. And here's why. This is like the only card that they can really like control the board and also deal burst to my face. Now their minions are gonna be overstated here, but mine are gonna be more overstated soon. And you know, the funny thing is I could also just go Wish Upon a Star and so skip the whole Shutter Block play. That actually might be correct. So it's a thing of like, that's their big board control play of their deck, and once they've used it and they didn't bounce it, it's much harder for them to win back board. So that's kind of my logic of like why I think it's really valuable to kill that there. This is an interesting where I think I'm probably gonna end up going Fairy Tale Slime next turn. And it's interesting in that like the original plan was do this big play, and now I probably just gonna be going double face here. Yeah, especially this weapon now. So I'm skipping the Shutter Block, and now it's a, you know, part of me is tempted to trade on this, but another spot where like we're kind of just winning. Oh wait, oh shoot. Whoops, that's fine. I forgot. I thought it was gonna be Explosive Trap for some reason.
I did too. We both got debated.
Yeah, but I just pushed the face damage here. Now like they're just that close to death, which is nice.
I am watching.
They can put the 2/5s in the way, but see if we go 6-0 to legend here. Be nice.
I should meet you.
I have 2/4 taunts here. They got the bouncy boy. But even like, so this is a really great example of like the power of the aggression, in that we kind of forced our opponent into like a weak play here. I feel like they shouldn't be that happy with this play. It's pretty weak. How much damage do I have, by the way? I have. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. No. If I went Static Shock and this, it'd be no. I'm just saying, just making sure I don't have lethal here. So. So.
Such choices.
Okay.
Fall me short. Now for you.
I don't know about this. So this play, I think, put a bunch of stats on board, but it also, I have lethal from hand here. So we have, this is 8, this is 10, so they don't put taunts in the way. That was the logic. It was a weird turn. I could have gone Frosty Decor instead, but I thought getting 2 6/7s was better than getting 2 2/4s there. I'm playing less around. I think like Grifta lethals is where my play might have been weak. But I think overall that's kind of what I was going for. You can see like the different things I was thinking about. Frosty Decor, you know, saving the 3-mana spell is good with High King Hammer. This is a real punish, right? I mean, it's not even a real punish because it's like, but it's something that, you know, that they get to resolve, which is quite bad actually. Okay. Ooh, you know what? It's like you can go. All right, Shutter Block, Bumbling. I'm debating. So the way we lose is like some sort of grifted double damage here, but I could also go Frosty Decor and play. Maybe that's better. I like getting the Shutter Block down, but I feel like I'm safer.
What is the most flammable?
The Frosty Decor? I don't know. Yeah.
I never make two.
So you can see what I was thinking about there, right? We could put more stats on board. I think they never get through the taunts here, and the way they win here is like Grifta deal 6 and then combo deal 6 and something like that. But the disadvantage of this play is it's less likely to hit up 2-turn lethal than if I went Shutter Block and then did a whole board of 6/7s there. So. Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh, wow. Interestingly enough, the armor play probably paid off in that, like, we got armor. Okay, now I just hit Zilliax, so I think I just take the Zilliax play because it's the safest here. I think the most likely way we lose is that they get some sort of Grifta scam lethal. Even though, like, going Shutter Block is insane here, right? But I think this is just enough to win here. Like, they have 4 cards in hand. They haven't gone Nael. So it's just they're probably gonna have a hard time stopping this, you know? Look what has become of Hunter, hiding behind taunts and removing them, I know, right?
Lush wilds and clear skies. This could be
There's the Nael.
Finding. I should meet you.
I have a second one of these.
I should meet you.
Freezing Trap is. Wait, no, I can play around Freezing Trap, right? So I want to kill the Ragnar Scout, I think. Do I want to double? Do we double Static Shock this to kill it? Maybe we do. I guess there could be Rat Trap here. It'd be probably explosive though. It'd be interesting if they stabilize and win here. But I think there's lots of opportunities to take greedier plays, and I didn't. So I think we got him. I think they're gonna die. Wait. Oh, another secret. No, never mind.
Or Scrungux.
Ah,
Oh man.
okay, I think if it's freezing, wait, if it's freezing trap on Ziliax, that's bad, right? Because I think I want to play this into it. We're done. Weapon if it doesn't actually kill anything. Dang. We might lose this. Okay. We'll see. Dude, this game has been really weird. Do we play the dual class? Should we play the dual class Sprout Mama, man? Could be fun. It's like is it up to 3 wins? Does sound fun.
8 combatants and I take the crown.
I love Bob so much, but not when he freezes my board.
You want Bob to be on your side.
Yeah.
Wait,
Ooh.
I'm like trying to figure out a way. I want to go the static shock, but it doesn't actually kill.
I thought you were just really upset about that.
So awkward. I'm trying to kill this 5/8. This is the scary thing where they get Rifta and they deal 6 or something, or oh god, this freeze is really bad. Also, like playing this damages my own minions, which is a big negative. It makes it more likely. All right. Okay. Wow, they didn't get it. I thought for sure they were gonna get an Incendious play there. They've got another Brewmaster, but they didn't play it here, so we'll see how we go.
I'm surprised they played Neri so early, because they got the freeze once. And then they're just relying on Incendious.
I think they're just very low on value here. You know, they're just kind of out of stuff. So they just want Neri on the board, and they're doing it with the Bob. It's a very much a desperation play. It's kind of, but that is a negative that they had to ceaseless their own Neri, right? So maybe it was incorrect. But now I'm out of stuff here. So okay, I happen to hit really good. I think it's a good chance it's what if I go face first? I think there's a really good chance it's yeah, it's explosive. I was worried it was ice trap there. That's nice. Oh, they're ready for this. I see this every day. Murloc Grofins that are 8/8s.
That's a beautiful thing.
I mean, I'm just winning with value here. I'm gonna hold the weapon charge there. Okay, they have, let's see, they have 3 more procs of the...
Wait, why are you sad about the triple shutter? There's nothing. Oh, yeah, we have the other Grofin. Oh, was the other one still activated from the first time?
I mean, I could
Shutter
do...
mercifully never punished.
No, the second shutter on the Murloc Grofin would have also been 8/8s. So, because these were already so buffed. But we wouldn't have killed the Ceaseless, and 13 damage to face is one of the few ways we can lose here, so...
These could belong to a brand new species.
I think chat is saying that you still had the shutter from the first big shutter, and we didn't need to play mini shutter yet.
Oh, yeah, that was...
But it's okay, because we already know that you don't make mistakes.
Yeah. Chat's just
That was
trying
not
to...
a mistake, chat. It was for extra luck on the next draw.
Exactly, alright. She's like... Alright, they got taunt here. Jesus.
It's like the secret menu, in and out. You know, if you played both shutters and then you draw, you're more likely to draw what you want.
Yeah, this is a spot where they're kind of out of value. They have 4 cards left in their deck, so I can play for value here. Also, I'm so close to just winning with Alec here, so it's kind of close. But I think the most likely way to win is they just scam some lethal here. But yeah,
why are you holding on to the last swing instead of redrawing the buff hammer? Are you like thinking they're gonna
I'd rather draw like a buffed. Actually, the spells aren't very good, but it's more so I could like use it to control a minion or something. But holy, that was bad. Okay.
Oh, ouch.
Okay. But I think we still have them here. Not this turn. Okay. What are they? Do we know what the card this is? This is a mixologist demon. Okay. Scary.
It's a bug because it should have been 9. Oh, that would be disgusting.
Oh, I got this guy? That would have been so nice if I had the mana. Okay, now I'm gonna hit. Alright, I think we got him here. Alright, what are their last cards? Let's see if we lose. Wow, that was a close one. I think they're out. Okay, they have a taunt. Actually, pretty good card to hit. And some random demon, not kill Jaden.
I can do no more.
Wow. That must have been terrible.
Yeah, that was exciting. So I think like not showing us the demon is easy. I think what's interesting from what I was like talking, maybe a high level thing is from your mindset. You were saying thinking of like, oh, the beatdown, like I have to kill them or they have to kill me. But I think you could see this deck has a lot more reach than maybe you thought, where we can outvalue decks often. We have a lot of stats, right? So
Yeah.
I think so. Those are even, you know, that's something you power study of like just seeing through another person's perspective. You could be like, oh, No Hands plays this in a very different way than I played this, like philosophically. So, final boss. Should we go for the legend?
Yeah, do it.
All right. Well, we won every game. We won 5 in a row.
Not showing us the demon. I know I'm going to be wondering about that tonight when I go to bed. What demon was that? That it was so terrible that they just conceded.
Yeah.
one of the things that keeps me up at night.
Dreadeye. I have to play against Dreadeye. Dreadeye is gonna know how to outplay our deck. So mid-range. So what do you think our decks? So our decks weak. What do you think our deck's weakness is? Like philosophically.
It's pretty heavy on spells, so it runs out of minions.
I feel like we have a lot of minions. I don't know. We have That's not the answer I was looking for.
What's your correct answer?
I think I was more looking for the fact that so we have these like really big statted plays, right? But we're actually not as good at like dealing with a wide board. We have a few ways, like we have the 3-mana spell, Avatar Form, and Hunter can make these really awkward wide boards, or even stuff like this. And oh god.
Yeah, that's true. We don't have AoE or early removal.
And he knows this, and he's playing this. Ruined my life. This
Yeah,
is
that was a YOLO Neri. That's like
this is the kind of play that Dreadeye, who's gotten triple #1 legend before, can make, because he just knows my deck well, and he knows that I'm very unlikely to have a good answer for a 5 health minion. I could have like Static Shock plus Pop-Up Book, right? But that's 4 damage. So I think he's going for that, and now he can get this 1-mana spell and immediately play it. If he gets +2 health, now it has 9 health, and it's really hard for me to remove. But it looks like he. That's poor. Ooh, I hit double Static Shock. All right, we're gonna go. Spell damage. Oh. So interesting that this is a Neri's got to go, because we could have cleared both the 2/3 and the 4/2, and tempo fundamentals say clear more stats, but we're like leaving Neri's a bad situation. So
yeah, that's surprising.
yeah, I mean they have the spell in hand, like. So many of these spells with Neri are so punishing. You get +2/+2, and it's over often. So it was a very lucky top deck that we hit that Static Shock, because most of the time that's not killing us, and he's gonna play a bunch of stuff and he's gonna ruin our lives. But luckily I got that, and he's playing into our weakness of bad board control, but we happen to hit some of our only ways to kill, like the 2/5 from hand there.
Moves quickly.
Wait, what? Oh my god, dude! No! I didn't think
Oh
about
my
this.
god.
Oh, and he's bouncing her. Wait, he's bouncing this. Ah, dude. So this is the kind of stuff like I didn't think about. Like maybe he got. So this is a great spot for reflection, right? He got revive. It was the only minion that had died, so he was guaranteed to get her. That's like. So even just that's something I wasn't thinking about at all. So, oh my god, Dreadeye!
Shaking a stud.
Dude, does he get a +2 health and all his minions are going to be unkillable? Yeah. Deal 6 here.
I mean, you can kind of play around that.
Wait. No!
Oh my god.
Wait, I don't think they actually compound, so it's not as bad as it looks. What a weird game. Funny thing is, we're not actually as bad a spot as I originally thought. Because he's only got 3 cards, but I don't know. He could just get a fast lethal here. That's what I'm scared of. I want to go Wish Upon a Star, but get these buffs.
belong to a brand new species.
Who could put a price?
Oh my god. Just gets the
Oh,
deal
no.
6. So see how he like played into our weakness and that's the kind of like adjustment. Those are the kind of things of like why mid-range Shaman doesn't do as well at top 20 Legend as it does at even top 200 Legend, because players like Dreadeye will know like the weakness of our deck and play into that and do really counterintuitive lines that put tons of pressure on us.
Well, and he probably knows your play style from playing you before, right? So
Yeah.
then he also knows that you're unlikely to trade out the 2/1 that was on board, and so he has a really small dead pool
Yeah,
of
Dreadeye.
1 minion.
Dreadeye denied me 100% win rate to Legend YouTube video there. All right, now we gotta say 83%. So there goes my clickbait. All right,
Oh.
that's so predictable.
So then that begs the question, like, for me, I usually, as soon as I see someone play potions 2/3, I kill every small minion that they have, so that if they resurrect something, they get trashed. But like we had the conversation earlier about like value trading versus like the importance of setting up like 2-turn lethal or doing more pushing more face damage. Like, what was your thought there in not removing other minions off the board and letting Neri be the only minion that died?
So I thought if I get rid of Neri, he loses one of his big power plays. And so I was like, and I have, you know, we went Hagatha. That's our big play. So I thought getting rid of Neri was the right play. If I let's say I know.
Oh, I 100% agree. Let me
Yeah.
rephrase.
Oh, sorry.
So, like, I would have gotten rid of Neri too, but the turn after that, I would have gotten rid of the Glacial Shard, which you left on board.
Wait, I didn't have the. Did he immediately revive it? His Neri there?
Oh, did he? Was
Yeah.
it the turn after?
Yeah. So.
Oh.
I
Well, then
think
that just sucks.
But yeah, I think in retrospect, it was right to kill the other 2 minions and leave the Neri up, which feels terrible, but I think it was
He
right.
did? Okay.
So, but yeah, I think this the recognizing, like, you know, even the fact that he didn't play the one spell immediately with the Glacial Shard play, so is often a tell that he got the revive card, right? So, which is
Okay.
something I didn't think about at the time. But so there's a lot of like good little reflections that we can get from that game. But I think you're more asking like, how do we decide between going face and trading? And I think it's like the big thing is like just reflecting how our instincts go, and then saying like, okay, my instinct to kill the Neri actually backfired immensely on me, you know? And I have to make it more complicated picture in my mind now. I have to know, okay, when you kill Neri, it's the only minion that's died. That doesn't necessarily work because they just revive it, right? So especially with the 2/3. So that's a good adjustment in my own brain to make about like.
And especially since they froze your 1 minion instead of doing the 2 to all plus
Yeah.
3 damage.
Yep. They could have, you know, easily had +2 health there. They could have had something like. So. It's awkward. Top take redrop. No.
Yeah, that was a pretty good draw. Scout and Grifta. Mm-hmm.
All right, Flippy,
Oh, this is bad. As you can see, this is another situation where playing into our deck's weakness of having a hard time dealing with a board when we're behind. Like we have to play these just big stats, but we don't have like the clean removal plays that like a rogue would have. No parrot. Oh, there is no parrot sanctuary in this list. Yeah.
There is no parrot sanctuary.
Yeah. I mean, we're doing pretty well with no parrot sanctuary, so I can't fault the, you know, looking at just the stats. Ooh, it's bad. Oh god, I'm just dead here. So bad. You know, like I really, oh god. I feel like the way we win here is like top decking avatar form and going weapon here, but we can go Furious Falls. It's just not really winning. I don't know. Is there a minion in our deck that we can win with? Not really. This is probably a loss. I'm trying to think of like, what is the winning? I mean, maybe Thunderquake. I don't know. Really bad situation here.
What is the most flammable?
I don't know. I'm gonna do this. I don't really like it, but I mean, if we can get to Ziliax, I guess that's our win condition. But this isn't over. It's just very, very unfavored.
Have you filled out the paperwork?
Savage Roar. Wow.
Damn. Wait, they're one off.
Oh, pretty good.
Wait, I think you're gonna go all face here, and then maybe we get the greatest comeback, and I have to ban half of my channel. Wait. Oh, I'm just... Taunt? No. Alright, they never have 1 damage from hand here, right? No!
Sorry.
Alright.
Oh, rude. They didn't even combo it. Disrespect.
Close. Alright, now I'm no longer 1 win away from your legend. Let's spectate you again.
Okay.
Now,
That was good though. Thank you. I like, you know, I got the weapon trick.
Yeah.
I got the don't fear bad situations trick.
Yeah. So really, like, the book is not about the tricks. It's more about the system of adding these tricks. Of you go study, you see somebody else, you say, oh, I wouldn't have thought of that, right? Then you go and you practice it. And then you know, practicing is easier in Hearthstone because it's just, you kind of just play games. If you're in other art forms, you know, you have to be a little more deliberate on your practicing. And then you sort of add it. You might, so the idea of you start with deliberate practice where you kind of like do it more than necessary. You sort of shove it into spots where you normally wouldn't go for that kind of line, but you're trying to learn it. And then eventually you incorporate it into your whole system. So, and you kind of, and then you reflect on it, and you think like, how did that go? Did that go well? Did it not go well? And that's kind of like the system of the book. It's less about, I can't teach you every little trick, right? How do I figure out the tricks?
When I say tricks, I mean repertoire, like the tricks you have in that become second nature.
Yep. And I think the book is more like about like how do you figure out those tricks? Because you know the first pro player that comes up with a trick doesn't know often, right? But then once one pro player knows, like they can all copy off each other. So is Twitch chat cited in research? I do, you know, right? You know, in the thank yous, I say my viewers. My big thanks to my viewers is the first thing for people I thank. Before, then my students, then my mom, then my dad, then my editor, then my buddy, then Monsanto and Fury Hunter. All right.
Wait, did you just say you thanked your viewers before your parents?
Yes. So.
Have they read your book?
My viewers.
Have you gotten a phone call about that yet?
Yeah, they made the book. All right. It's they should be proud of themselves. What do you think the value trades? What do you think the play is here?
So I would rather that they only heal one turn instead of multiple turns. So I was going to pick off the Divine Shield and then get rid of the 4/1.
I think we should get rid of all these. So I'm just curious. I'll just see what you do, and I'm curious if you get the value trade right. So.
Okay.
Oh, yep, you got it. More of a technical play.
See, the thing that I worry about here is like they already have 3 corpses.
Oh, don't even worry about
what
that.
would you do in this
don't worry about their
situation?
corp-
Because
like,
this is already like a formidable board for them on their turn 4.
That's good. That's good that you have pressure. And if they go corpse explosion, you have an immediate one. They have to use coin, and they give immediate answer. I think we even trade our 3/3 into the 1/2.
Really?
Because we have the healing totem. That's why. So.
Oh, true. That's true.
And we're early on in the game, so it's very marginal, and it might be me being wrong, but that's what I was thinking. I see. I'm actually a trades kind of person, so when more and more saying that because when I say go face, it's almost always go face because I hate going face. Right? Let's see, I think this is so good here, right? Double trade.
Double thunderclap.
Yeah,
we love that.
you've got 6 mana
Plus
weapon
the
to
heal.
follow up. You got Furious Falls to have a follow up. I mean, they have to
Yeah.
really go Corpse Explosion here to stay in the game. And then we probably go weapon double face because then they would be at 9 and you'd be setting up the 2 turn. Same kind of play as before, right? So.
Murph, I say the Kappa, but that's actually true. Like we wouldn't have been able to play Muradin if we had traded.
So true, yeah. So actually,
We'd
you
be
baited
stuck with
out
our
them
little
killing
froggy
your
frog.
0/1, right? So.
Yeah.
The fool. Yeah, dude, Chris always says I always
Archie,
don't clear
exactly.
off their board and board locked by opponent. Say I got them right where I want them with only 15 of damage on board. So.
Okay, so normally I would go Furious Foul here. What would you do?
I think Hammer is better because you're dealing over 2 turns 18 damage. If they don't heal, they lose the game. Let's say they took 1 mana location from Elise here, which we don't know. They probably took 5 mana. If they took 1 mana location and they gained 3 armor, you still would have lethal here. So I think I prefer this.
Okay. Because I know we do 12 over 2 turns with this, but we also do 12 over 2 turns with this.
Yeah, but let's see, they heal. If we'd gone, well, we don't. We do 12 over 3 turns if they don't remove the board, and they would have removed the board there. See that? So
true.
we wouldn't have had it, but now because we went the weapon, we have lethal, right? So Furious Falls face. So I think that's like the big thing, setting up 2-turn lethals is like a really powerful concept in Hearthstone, and I think that's you sometimes.
Yeah, I didn't take their release location into account that they might have the raptors. That's true. Our birds would have died.
And it's harder to remove weapons, but sometimes there's a Viper meta, right? So Stop get. I talk about getting banned in the book, right? Because I basically, when I'm arguing that people should hang in there till the very end, right? Heart of Kappa, yeah.
It's interesting hearing you say that because so many people that I've talked to argue with me about that exact same thing. Because again, being an eternal optimist, I usually feel like, all right, I could top deck one of these 3 cards that could get me out of this situation. But there are other people, I won't name names, who have told me repeatedly, like, Bree, like the odds of you pulling that card is so low. If you cut your losses now and just concede and move on to the next game, you're going to hit legend faster and have more time to win more games in the allotted time that you have to play. So what are your thoughts on that? Like,
yeah, it's
stats conceding for time management versus like
time
playing
management.
something out until you know that it's a loss.
Like, imagine you're talking to your spouse and you're like, can you just get through the story faster so I have like more time management? Like, or, you know, like it's like the joy of like a back and forth long game, you know? It's like, why are we trying to end this? And I think there's like, you learn so much when you win a game that you thought was unwinnable. And I do it every day. That's why tens of thousands of people have been banned in my chat. All right.
Tens of thousands.
Tens of
Wow.
thousands. All right. So yeah, it's, you know, I could be making a much better living, but that's the sacrifice I make to have integrity. All right. So, but yeah, I think the give up mentality, it's so toxic and it will ruin your life. You know,
Yeah, that's true.
So I talk about, so in something like poker, right? Or, you know,
Can I pause this? I want to hear the rest of what you have to say, but I also want to ask you a question before the rope burns.
I like pop-up book into
normally here I would
Primordial.
pop up Psych and Primordial.
Yeah.
Is that what you would
also
do too?
So it's either that or Growfin into bird watching. I actually think it's Growfin into bird watching because you'd rather hit Hagatha on curve, and hitting Hagatha on curve. So interesting. Yeah. So and this is 0-1s. And so okay. So most of the time, like if you're, I've seen people, they go, oh, and they finally make Masters Tour, they play, and they lose their first 2 matches, and was it Turbulus or Elise here or Ziliax? Ooh, they're all kind of, I think, we're up against, so like, it might be Elise. Like Turbulus is really good too, though. Elise can get you.
I would tend to say Elise here because they look like they're Alonius.
Yeah, I think, well, Elise 5-mana location is so much stats, and also the 5-mana deal damage one is like really good against Owl because it turns all, like it's just a Savage Roar, right? Okay, so where's
you
I
wouldn't
going?
go for armor against Dollhouse?
No, we're gonna go kill them. But like they do like 30 billion damage. You're not gonna out armor them. So yeah, it's maybe if I was playing Control Warrior, and I think I could get up to like 80 life. But all right, so what do you think? Do we go Coin Elise or do we go Pop-Up Book Primordial Overseer here?
That's a tough choice. I like the stats on Overseer and I like the card draw, but we also have 2 5s now, so
I think we'd rather go for the Elise location, but it's more like I don't think we want to use coin here. No. I think we want to go Primordial Overseer with the Pop-Up Book because we get to save coin then, and I think that's better. Because if we go coin Elise, the next turn we end up just floating a mana. So that's usually that's why I think it's incorrect.
And I listen.
Okay, so talking about giving up. So I think, like, you know, if you're like at a job that isn't working or a relationship that wasn't working, you know, or like I was saying, the tournament's not working, right? Like you go 0-2 and you're probably not going to make this. Even the experience of like, I'm in this tournament situation, I think, yeah, at least a 5, is very valuable. It will help you grow so much more than playing on ladder. So you think like, oh, I'm wasting, +2 attack is so good here. I think like Rush is good. Yeah, I think, yeah, that's really good. It's like exactly what we want. So even just the experience of being in this tournament situation with the pressure against people who brought real lineups is so valuable. And there are situations where people go 0-2 and then something ridiculous happens. It doesn't happen very often. And you've already like flown out to your Masters Tour. You've put in the time, you put in the cost. Like, even though it's odd, like people are acting like, oh, I'm wasting my time. It's like your time isn't that valuable, you know? I know what chat's doing. They're not being super productive with their time. All right. Ooh, is it? I think it's location here, but like, yeah.
It's not hammer time.
Hammer time. It's close, but they have a lease location in hand, so they're probably going to remove. It's close. I don't know. You can do what you like.
But what if they have raptors? We want our raptors for their raptors, right?
I'm more just the lease location. Like it takes a long time to get value from. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But you know, I wouldn't like. It's a marginal play. Like I could totally see Murden being right. I just think this is slightly better. You know, you even decide.
Now I would normally trade my face into this. What would you do?
I think you trade your face into this because board presence is more valuable. This 2/1 can do more damage next turn, and if it survives for 2 turns, it does even more. But yeah, what was I gonna say? So I think it's just really valuable as a growth opportunity to hang in there. And I think people, you know, just the value. Ooh. Now it's Shutter Block into like Coin Murloc Growfin for sure, and then I guess you probably Static Shock the 2/1 just to protect your life total. But yeah, I don't know. It's yeah, I think hanging in there and finding those outs, and the fact that so many people get banned in my channel is a testament that so you probably have you've ever heard that study where they ask people, okay, give a range for like 95% confident that like how long the Nile is, or you know, they ask people, okay, what's this and how confident are you? And human beings are overconfident often. You ever hear those studies about that kind of stuff?
No.
Ooh, okay.
I've heard studies about people being overconfident in their like physical strength and getting injured, but not in their like fact knowledge.
Yeah. So
go on.
People are usually overconfident in their ability to evaluate whether a game is over. Source me. I've seen it for years. All right. I don't have actual data. Just trust me. And so, yeah, 85% of people are considered unaverage drivers. So the fact that people get it wrong so often is you're better off just, if you think you're going to lose, just play it out and then lose. And then you're like, oh, I was right. But if you do that every time you think you're going to lose and you play it out to the end, you're going to win some games. And those games that you do win, you learn so much because you figured out certain outs and certain ways. And there are all these spots where chat's like already giving up. And I'm like, I think we're going to win easily. Do we have, yeah, Elkir lethal? Yeah, nice. So it's a thing of like, nice.
32.
Yeah, it's slam Elkir, press button. It's like way over lethal.
They have 39. Oh, we have our click.
Yeah. I mean, I think you have lethal on board, so you don't even need the Elkir.
But we like Elkir.
Yeah. So I think just like the hanging in there mindset makes you grow. And yeah, it's the, you know, it's, I hate the give up mentality that, you know, this community often has. And it's not this community, it's just everybody. And I think the big thing is like, there's no cost other than your time, which is not valuable for most people. Like I'm exaggerating, but your time is more valuable spent in trying to win.
Did you hear that chat? He's
so your time is more valuable hanging in there, trying to find the win. All right.
The fire within.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah. So it's Starship Rogue's pretty fun. Nice.
Crying.
Yeah. So you've already paid the cost. So it's kind of like you went to an all-you-can-eat buffet. You're already in there. you might as well, like, you can hang in there instead of, you know, you've already paid the cost of your rank, of your MMR.
It's a good way of looking at it. That's true.
Yeah. So I think the big thing in real life is, like, you know, maybe people say, oh, like, don't give up on your dreams. Sometimes some dreams have to be given up on, you know, they're not going well, you know, it's
Yeah.
and so I think in real life your time is actually, you know, more costly, but for one game of Hearthstone it's not. And it's not like, if you're gonna like give up early to go stop wasting time, the correct answer is just to log off Hearthstone entirely, you know, and like go for a jog or call, you know, do something, you know. But you're playing Hearthstone,
yoga.
so you've committed to that. You're better off playing the game and growing from like the actual experience of trying to hang in there than giving up. So, oh, this is interesting. Like, avatar form is like nice to spend our mana, but it's like so good later. It's actually so close here. What do you think?
I like avatar form here just to keep our board alive.
It's close. I think more I think about it, I think we hero power. I think it's too good against Hunter. They have these wide boards of 2 health minions, and we can clear their 2/4 here, and then we can go at least into 5 mana location. We hopefully hit healing totem, but like, yeah, I think
I still want to pick this off though.
I think we pick it off. Yeah, I agree. So
okay,
so this is another thing. We have a slow hand and a bad hand. Like, we have a not that great of a hand. It's got some good things going for it. So this is a spot where we err on the side of trading because we need to make sure we survive. Where there might be other spots. Yeah, you're trying to say your time is more valuable with hard matchups. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. I think people think they're wasting time in this, and the value of it is not only that you could win, but you grow more from like playing these tough matchups. What do you think? All right, just whatever.
I think any time that you're decision making, you grow more than just giving up.
Yep. And
it's like Shayla Buff said in the famous.
Just do it. Wait, what's
the
that
famous
one?
PSA. Just do it.
Is it
Make
Shayla
your
LaBeouf?
dreams come true.
I thought it was Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, Shia LaBeouf.
Okay. I usually pronounce everything wrong, so I'm just I was wondering if I was pronouncing his name wrong too. It's like a reputation I have on the stream. It is okay.
Shia LaBeouf.
Ooh, this is awkward.
Oh, I like that. Now I'm gonna remember that next time and say it wrong again. Thanks. Okay, so normally I'd want to play Hagatha here, but with their Wind Fury and their
I'm gonna go on a limb and say I think it's location here. Location is 12 mana worth of stats, and I think it's better to get that down now and start getting value out of it, because if you don't take it now, Hagatha's awkward, we play off curve. Frosty Decor gets wrecked by things like the... So I think we actually play the location here.
and then just swing into Xavi.
Well, we evaluate our spell first. We probably swing into Xavi, yeah.
No one knows how to say it. Trust. Oh, we could.
Ooh, Firehawk is insane here.
Volcanic.
Wait, reopen a
Do we take
location.
Volcanic?
Oh, no, I was gonna say either. No. That's the worst. Okay, that was. I don't think that was right. I would have taken.
It's okay. It's not you. I have a fear of the rope burning.
Okay. I think the.
I don't like making decisions at the end of the rope. Is anyone else in chat with me? I can't. I see people play something at the end of the rope and I'm scared for them. You like the Firehawk better? Yeah, that is good too. Because we already had the 2. Oh, shoot. They got the 6.
That's bad. It's awkward. Probably, I don't know. So Amulet Hagatha is probably best. You could make a case for Frosty,
think so too.
but I think killing Grifta is better. But
You're a rope enjoyer.
Looking for probably Tidepool here.
These could belong to a brand new species.
I found a sea urchin.
Oh, that's not good.
Finding.
Oh god. This is why I wanted to keep the avatar form for like boards like this. But it's still awkward because we don't want to go avatar form. Wait, is avatar form actually? I think we
wouldn't
go.
have drawn anything playable for getting rid of this, though, right?
I think we go location first and try and hit something here. Like lightning storm would be great. Oh, meteor storm is that's right? Like yeah, it's always meteor storm here. Get the full clear. Oh, look at that. And then play the frosty decor. Oh, look how good that was. Right back in it.
I found a sea urchin.
How many do they have now? They don't even need
anyways.
Neri, right?
Yeah, wait. Yeah. How'd they get 3 of these? Oh wait, that's oh, they got 2 from Grifta. Okay. Yeah.
I know, they didn't even need Neri. I know, why do some people say thank you at the end, right? That gets me too. I'm like, bro, you need to go touch grass. Being out here saying thank you to people when you're about to win.
I don't know. I enjoy some efficient BM myself, you know. So is
You do that?
yeah, you know, I'll do a little, you know. It's yeah, it's the casual game. You know. It's yeah.
Auto squelch plugin for the win. Yeah, I know. I think you actually can now. If you have Firestone, can't you squelch your opponents? I haven't looked at the menu since the last update. It might be a thing.
BMing is part of the book. I don't think there's anything on BMing, to be honest. Maybe I'll write the second book, The Art of Being Toxic, right? And
Let none forget our battle.
but it'll argue to not be too toxic because then everyone will hate you and then you won't be able to be toxic in the future, right? So it's just
The art
toxic
of
enough.
tactful BMing.
Yeah, tactful BMing, exactly. What do you
All
think
right,
of
so this is
keeping-
an awkward mulligan because normally I would always keep bellhop, but I would think that I'm getting something large to follow it up with because I'm usually tossing
Yeah.
2. But here I feel like keeping this whole hand,
I think we throw away
even though I don't have a
watching.
1.
Because then you have you have a turn 2 play, another turn 3 play, and a turn 4 play, and a turn 5 play. That feels kind of decent. And you know, you could even consider playing.
Wait, did you say you would keep this or dump
throw away
something?
bird watching? So you want to hit a big spell. So if you hit a big spell, then your hand's really good. And look at the perfect hand. Perfect hand.
Either the Legion dies, or
How good is Turbulus versus aggro on coin? I think we would put out Bumbling first, and then
No,
we would
I think you
Turbulus,
play
right?
out Turbulus first because if they remove the bumbling, and because then they come in as 4/4s, right? So sometimes you play the if you know they're not going to remove the bellhop. So this is a spot like where knowing their deck really well would be advantageous. So let's see. But now we know they have
Oh, since they're
infestation.
playing Broxigar, yeah, they probably have a ton of removal.
Yeah, so more stats
That's
is
true.
better. So I think Coin Turbulus is the stronger line here.
That's true.
But in theory, if like we knew they like at 100% chance of not removing our 3/3s, it would definitely be right to 3/3 there. So
hell in sight.
The art of mental warfare. Seeking out your opponent.
yeah. So me and my dad used to play ping pong. and he was much tougher than me, and I was better than him, but I'd be up and I'd be like 2 points away from winning, and he would just be tough and I would break. And he would BM like crazy where he
did this to you.
Yeah. So I do say in the book, thanks to my dad for never letting me win. So he never let me win. So
My dad was the same way. My dad like did not know how to be around children. And so like, okay, my mom loves telling me this story because I wasn't old enough to remember, but you know how like some restaurants give out like game menu, like it's like your placemat, but it's a menu and it has games on it for kids. My dad would always apparently ask for an extra one so that he could like finish the games faster than I did and then let me know that I lost.
Oh, that's
like,
terrible. Oh, because it's not like, I don't know. just wanted to let you know, my 8-year-old Bridget, that I'm better at this than you. All right?
I know, right? Like you have an engineering degree. I'd hope you're better at the menu at Coco's. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Look, you just can't. You can't let your kids get too cocky.
Yeah, that was always his concern. He told me from the time that I knew how to talk, like he didn't want me to be too cocky. But here's the thing, I never was. So he was like just making me feel bad about myself before I even got to that point.
Yeah.
And then that made me like the opposite. It made me like so unconfident that it gave me like imposter syndrome as an adult. And I have had to fight so hard to not have that.
I've heard
Don't give visitors.
I've heard some twin studies where it might just be where one twin thinks they're really like clean because their parents weren't clean, and then another twin thinks they're clean because their parents were clean. So it might be a thing of like.
Are you saying clean?
Well, clean, yeah. Because I know I had like this ruthless competition from my dad, but then now like it made me like ruthlessly competitive. But my brother. My younger brother is not competitive, but my older brother. So I don't know. It's I think sometimes maybe it's a little sink or swim where people go to one extreme or the other.
Yeah.
Ooh, actually, this location plus Murden play is phenomenal. Ooh, it's gonna crush them here.
No, not from that. Whoa. That's an early kill Jaden.
Ooh.
That they really not like their deck that much.
The chat must have just been aching them, right? All right. Let's think this through once you play the location, and then. What do we think? I think you're like best off protecting both of these guys, like trading all the 2-1s into the kill Jaden, trading like so trade all your 2-1s into the 7/7 here, and then use the pop-up book to finish it off. And then you're like 5/5 into the 3/3. You can make a case for the 7/7 as well. I think the 5/5 is a little better. And then now they're in this awkward situation.
Actually though, but don't they have like a deal 3 to all?
Don't have much time.
Yeah, I guess I'm just like trying to protect the 7/7. Either could be better. You decide what you think is best.
I think I'd rather do this because then both
Yeah,
of them survive if they do have the 3 to all in hand.
This is a spot where I don't know their deck well enough, so I'm basically deciding based off my biases of like, okay, I'd rather have big minion, but I don't know that. That's literally just my emotional feelings. See, this was the random punish, right? Now I could be like, see? But I didn't know that was coming.
Demonic
right?
deal. At least it put nothing in their deck.
I think they would have got it anyways. Maybe not.
Oh, so they had the 2 stingers anyway.
Yeah.
But they would have taken 2 more face. Oh no, they're going into the frog. It looked like they were gonna protect both stingers. Oh, they did. Yeah, we would have done 2 more face.
All right, this is interesting of like what our line is supposed to be here. What do you think we should be going for here?
I feel like we have to remove their board and keep board before they start drawing buffed demons. So I would probably Furious into the Imp and then pop up into Grub.
Lots to consider.
I think that's fine. I'm kind of leading towards, like, I think I want to say Youth plays fine. We have this avatar form, so we can kind of just ignore board and then play avatar form next turn and deal 2 damage to the whole board. So I'm like kind of leaning towards hammer at double face, play the 2/1, maybe even pop up on the face, with the intention of like avatar form next turn, with like maybe bird watching into. That's kind of what I think. We also might just get lethal with Alakir or something. You have, oh actually, this is easily the right play. You have Alakir next turn and you go 5/5 copy, right? So that will deal 16 damage. We have 22 damage, right? So this is, oh wait, but they do have this lifesteal minion here, which I forgot about, by the way. But our Alakir, we can copy it and then rush the 5 damage into it and trade it so that we deny the divine shield.
Divine shield, yeah.
So yeah, this is another spot where like the longer the game goes,
No!
so this is just, we're okay. We just have to adjust our plans, you know? No big deal. Yeah, I think Alakir is right here.
I think that's still a good play though.
Yeah, and do the copy. We'll should probably 5. I'd say just for simplicity, do the 5/5 divine shield into the lifesteal minion first, and then we gotta decide. Okay, let's see. They have another lifesteal. We could just ignore it though. Yeah, I think I like the 3/6 into the then 2/2 into the 5/4, and then I kind of think. Okay, I kind of think you just go face with everything and then like 2/1 into one of their 2/1. So face with the 5, face with the 3, double face with the weapon. Yeah.
So we just leave their life steal there.
Yep. So what are we gonna do next turn? We're gonna go like hammer plus avatar form.
Because then they end up healing twice.
Yeah. So we don't want to heal spot twice. They're not gonna heal twice. We're just gonna kill them next turn.
Oh, true.
So, and even if like they put a taunt in the way like this, so this is like a concept of when you have removal, like let's say you have a spell, then trading off their minions goes down in value because by leaving this minion on, let's say they trade into the 3/6, now our avatar form gets value when it kills it. So basically, the only reason we like trade often in these spots is like to prevent ourselves from getting like 2-turned, or if we're getting counter lethaled. But we have taunts in the way, so going face goes up in value. If that makes sense.
Another soul dissolved.
Is it really better to attack with a weapon? What do you mean, Danny? We have another one.
And yeah, now we have lethal here. Nice. Easy.
This is the second time that we've had this palindrome.
Going face works. That's what we learned.
It does.
What is the win condition? Put our opponent's life down to 0. So it's you know.
It's insane that avatar form also hits face. I think it's fair. You only get to play it once.
Look, we're playing
It
this
doesn't seem
deck,
super
so
OP to me.
you have to defend our cards. All our cards are reasonable, right? It's our opponent's cards that, you know, those cards need nerfs, all right? Like, I don't know why the devs haven't gotten on that.
How can we have a win con if we don't play Kil'jaeden? I know. What are we even doing?
Does your channel like lose their mind about Kil'jaeden and tell you to slam it every time you have it in the hand?
No.
Okay. Just my chat.
My chat's pretty chill.
My chat.
They usually don't yell at me unless I'm about to like do something that I will regret for the rest of my life.
My chat understands
Kill
like a
Jaden on
few
7 wins everything.
Yeah, it's like if you.
I don't know if you're trolling, Murdoch.
I don't think they are. It's.
I feel like most of the decks that I have Kil'jaeden in, it's like a tertiary win con. Like I'm not playing it unless all other bets are off.
Yeah, chat wants it to be the #1 win. Our complete game plan.
Complete game plan. That is trolling. Okay, so against a deck that's probably going to be slower, like Druid, what are your thoughts on keeping Shutterblock versus tossing it? Like normally I would just toss this and wait to draw into it. Because there's so many cards I'd rather have earlier, like Turbulus, Elise.
Well, I think the easiest way to beat Druid is just put a bunch of minions and hit him in the face. The question is, do we keep Bellhop and Frosty Decor? And I think no. I think we throw away this whole hand.
You wouldn't keep Bell, but we're on coin.
Yeah, I want to be greedy. I want to hit Fly to the Firehawk and then play 2 buffed up Bumblings. So.
Dang. All right.
So yeah,
We'll
throw
try
away this whole
that.
hand.
This will be a first for me. I've never tossed that combo.
Yeah, and also what's nice now is we had Grofin. Also, we could go like bird watching and hit it, make them 5/4s, right? So basically, there's a lot of like I actually value keeping Bumbling in my deck here, so that I can get more value out of it when I buff it with my draw cards. So, but.
Is there a class that you would keep that against?
I don't know.
Not Druid?
I'm vibesing here. Like this is nice. Now we would definitely keep Bellhop if we hit it. Oh, we didn't. Okay, I think Elise is better. Elise is just too good of a card. Yeah, I think yeah, I don't know. I think so. You're recognizing that having the 3-drop and the 5-drop are like is a decent play. But I think sometimes we want to go for more, and then like sometimes we'll just randomly run into that anyways. So it's basically just not. It's not a bad like it's a marginally like okay card to have in hand, but I think we just in this spot we'd rather mulligan for more. So I think it's coin Elise here, even though like losing coin is awkward. It gets a 5 attack on the board, which is nice.
I remember this.
She doesn't know the Greed Lord. Ooh, it's Discover probably, and then oh, you took the characters. Characters might be the best there actually. Like I was thinking 2-1s, but I think this is actually just. I think your choice is actually just better than mine. Ooh, awkward.
There's AV on 4. Yeah, I don't like having the 2-1s versus Druid because even if they weren't AV on a Druid, they'd probably be playing Swipe.
Okay, I have a really
This
weird
is so
play.
awkward.
I kind of think we go. No. Like, call me crazy. I think we should go pop-up book and avatar form, hit the Sky Aviana. I guess we do it. No, wait, do avatar form on our Elise. Trade into the Sky Mother here, and then pop-up book it. So we remove that, but then we have these 0-1s on board. And then they get the +2 attack next turn when we play our location. This might be a really dumb play by me, but it's kind of this is, I don't know. This is very questionable. This is the spot where it goes wrong, and then we reflect. We shouldn't have done that. But like, I basically minions on board when you have the +2 attack are so valuable. So having these 0/1s aren't really 0/1s; they're 2/1s. So that's kind of why I like it.
That's fair.
He only does this because this is not his account. See, this is where I can practice. I can try out new ideas. All right. Yeah.
Do we still do this even though we are down 5 attack, or do we?
No, yeah, you throw this down. Yeah, it's amazing. It does 8 damage right away, and we get a 4 mana spell discount. Ooh, multiverse is insane here, right? Yeah. I mean, instant multiverse? Yeah, for sure. The next turn we can put, oh, so good. But yeah, look at that. Look at that. Look at that damage. Like, our board of 0/1s and 1/1s just did 8 damage to their face. Pretty good, right?
That is pretty decent. You always get swiped there, right? But we learned today, James, we can't play from a place of fear.
If they swipe your 0/1s, that's a win for you. They spent 3 mana killing a 1/1 and
That's
the 0/1s. Right?
Freaking Husk.
Oh, this is interesting because like Thals is insane on the 0/6.
We get a really good instant multiverse if we play Hagatha first.
Oh,
right?
because it's Is this does the 12 mana minion where's the minions like have board space issues? Yeah, I don't think I like.
I don't think so.
All right, let's do the Hagatha, like you said, into the
Or
instant
do we
multiverse.
get rid of Psy to keep our froggy
I like
frogs?
the multiverse play because for the content, all right? But so
So play Hagatha and then multi.
Yeah. You know, I don't have a good feel for this card. So this is the idea from my book called exploratory practice. So there's deliberate practice. This is like,
And you always make sure, chat, that you do exploratory practice when it is your friend's account, not your own.
Exactly.
Just throwing
right?
that out there.
Let's
these
rewind.
are trash.
Like, yeah, these suck.
That's trash. Okay, Krog, let's go. We like Krog.
Oh, let's go, dude. Oh.
Now this forces them into removal. Otherwise, every
Calculated.
board they play is trash.
Chat, you can learn plays like this from my book. All right.
Yeah.
Make sure
Take
to buy
notes.
it on Amazon. All
Take
right.
notes. Multiverse into Krog. That's how you win every game. Don't be blizzard. Oh, that's 6.
Get this lucky, right?
I mean, but don't they kind of deserve that because they're playing a super high roll deck?
Exactly. We already
You
figured out how
attract what you do, right?
Well, I forgot to put that in the book, but like figure out ways to say that why you're deserving of winning and the people you're competing against are not. I'll be.
No.
Oh. Our crowd.
Terrible.
Wait, this.
Oh, that was so beautiful.
Right, this Thunderquake is
This is
insane
awkward
though.
now.
Right.
And we're overloaded. Gross. Gross.
Can either use the pop-up book on the 3/1 and save the Thundershock. So
Yeah.
I think we don't press
you
the
would've?
button. I don't think we press the button here. I think we're better off waiting to get the damage.
Oh, definitely not.
So there's some situations
with
where you
the
just want to like
+2.
press the button as fast as possible to get the discover value, but that Shadow Flame was pretty brutal though. Oh no.
Yeah, Sharsh. Wow. That's a throwback.
A mistake.
Your rage.
The exiled ones will find solace.
Okay, what I'm thinking here is like some sort of fairy tale, the Wish Upon a Star, but also like the Terror Run. We could hit like Hex. So I think we press the button first here and then reevaluate. So
Do we do it again? Or do we deal 3 to Kair and freeze Yasharj?
I think that's the better play here. We have like so many things we want to spend mana on here. So yeah, and then I think we drop down the Wish Upon a Star. No, the slime one. Let's take
I didn't see that. I was holding that. Thank you.
Yeah. And
Good old Barnes into Yasharj. Oh yes, I remember that.
and then yeah, we're letting them get more value out of this, but I think we're better off just killing them.
Yeah.
We have Alec here for lethals. We can Zilliax next turn if they do something strong and remove their minions. So, ooh, saving the Static Shock will pay off when we can use it on this taunt. Ooh, that's not good. Okay.
Wow. Well,
Um,
that is unfortunate.
All right.
And their swipe. Wow.
Uh-oh. All right. Bad.
Well, we got punished for leaving it.
Oh, all right. This is very bad.
Sandcastle.
I don't know.
Wow.
All right. I'm trying to find a way out of this, but it's looking tough.
Char or scourge?
Yeah, but then we 3/3s to face over 2, but then we die.
But they have the eternal life anyway, so even if we put them down to 0, they wouldn't die. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think this is our only possibility.
You might actually play Zilliax and then not trade. That might be the right play.
Yeah, that way they have to trade into the Divine Shield too.
But you could double trade into 7/12. Both are acceptable, I think.
Although, yeah, what if they have their second swipe?
Yeah, okay.
Then
you
not
convince
trading
me.
feels
Yep.
terrible.
Yep. I think it's right to double trade because of the Divine Shield. But so what is okay? So this is okay. What is our win condition here? It's actually probably like high roll some sort of spell off Terror Run that clears the board. So trying to think. I mean, the really thing that losses this game was this Wish Upon a Star steal. Like that was brutal. Because now just all their stuff is just overstated. It looks like they have lethal. Yeah, they got lethal.
The Titan's experiments will not be disrupted.
Rough.
Wait, are they one off?
I got it.
Oh, hero power. That was rough.
You know, I'm blaming Blizzard on that one, so... Alright, when to ignore the book and say, that was some bullshit, right?
Well, or was it going for the meme play instead of going for a safer play?
I mean, was really
Because
going...
the turn that we
play worked
played,
out pretty well,
the
right?
12 mana versus stats, like what were the other options for that?
Well, we could go on Furious Falls. Our play worked out way better, so really, our plays were actually fine. So, yeah. So,
Is that wild? No, it looks like it, doesn't it? Standard.
well, I'm getting a little tired, and I need to take a bathroom break. I think we've been co-oping for like 3 hours. I think this was.
Oh my gosh, time flies when you're playing Hearthstone.
I know, right? It's the greatest.
Well, thank you so much for the co-op. I'm probably gonna go eat real food.
Okay.
And thanks for hanging out, everyone, today.
And
I think No Hands is continuing to stream afterwards, but I'm headed out for the evening.
Okay, yeah, and it was fun, and I hope the you know we learned some stuff like Go Face, but I hope some of the high level concepts of the book were useful, of like how we go about like adding these concepts to our arsenal, and how we, analyze, different, things like our bias was the one of like, thinking about the worst thing possible.
Yep.
I think the book does talk about that, but with more like kings into aces, so it gives a poker analogy. But same concept of Hearthstone. So I hope. But yeah, the book once again isn't the actual what the best plays in Hearthstone. It's the framework that you can go and take to figure out Hearthstone. So hope that was interesting, and I hope people like it. So.
Well, and I just want to say congratulations again on writing a book. That is a huge deal. There are so many people who say they want to write a book, and there are not many people that follow through. So, congratulations. I feel like you're already winning just getting that out there.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Have a great evening, everyone. And I will see you on Sunday, is when I'm going to be on Bread and Butter podcast in the evening. So, stay tuned on socials, and hopefully you can tune in for that as well. Take care, everyone.
Bye. All right, I need to take a bathroom break. Spectate somebody, and then we'll make that final push to legend.
I have seen creation, and I will bring destruction.
Relaxation for all, and all thanks to me. Job's done.
I am the eyes of my people, and I see all.
All right, chat. Oh, about the the game menu. Thank you so much for the raid, Bridget, and chat. Check, go send Bridget a follow. She also has a YouTube channel. Go check her out. We had a real fun time talking about sort of getting good in Hearthstone and different, you know, I think we talked a lot about like cognitive biases and how they play a part in the game. That's stuff that I do cover in the book. So I had a real fun time. Go check her out. It's 16 mana on both sides here. What is this game going on?
I remember this place well.
All forms of life will be crushed.
Ooh, Overlord Runtak is pretty good here.
Planetary decimation.
You would trade, then play this one into this, maybe? I don't know. Right. You just go in here? You could just go in here, right? What is it? Oh, refresh into Galvadon here, right?
8 combatant center, and I take the crown.
When Fury ends it.
Job's done.
I'm almost out of cards.
All right. All right. Let's should we make the final push with the shaman, or do we go with the quest warrior for final push, chat? Because we're doing well with the shaman. We're 1 game away, but now we're 2 games away. Warrior, okay. Warrior. Wait, you guys want shaman? Okay, we'll take a poll. We'll do a real quick poll, all right? All right, it's a 1-minute poll. All right, got 60 seconds to vote. Or no. Some people like want to watch that. I love democracy. Wow, this vote is really close. All right. Wow, Shaman barely won. All right. Maybe we just alternate between games because it's like that close. All right, we'll just start off with Shaman. Okay.
Ragnaros versus Cariel!
I will protect the innocent.
Go before me, mortals!
I love democracy. Are they playing like the
I remember this place well.
bam, perfect one, chat. Wait. That ironically helps me because now I can play my bubbling bellhops here. That's hilarious, chat.
I never make
Blaze
two
a
trips.
trail.
I never make two trips.
You don't see that? The fool! I was listening to your voice.
Blaze a trail.
Oh, we had a Please Now Vidad request? I forgot. Bam, bam, bam. Feliz blah blah blah.
Such choices. Such choices.
The sands speak.
Sorry, rest. Thank you for the raid, welcome, buddy.
I must conceive.
Ragnaros versus Maiev.
Never forget Poem, dude.
My fury.
Poem. Dude, people still remember Poem. Dude, it's like, how many years ago was that co-op? Yes, bleh, 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 bleh. His plays represented chat well.
Rock number 802, welcome to the collection.
The sands speak, and I listen.
Pleasure of fool.
You do me again. Oh, this is weird because like I'd like to have double bumbling. You know what I think it is, even though Murden's really nice. I don't know.
Sand stream.
Because now these, I just need to draw a spell and they're like both 5/4s now. In the book? Chat, any book reader? Wait, son of a freaking poisony boy. Ooh, nice top deck though.
I never make two trips. I never make two trips.
Why aren't they killing them? I feel like they should be killing my 5/4s here. I see why they're doing, but I don't know. Seems questionable. But maybe they don't get punished here. Every next day. Slightly different, yeah. This was Bridget's list. So we were playing her list, and then we just have been like 75% win rating, so like shit, I'm a sucker for big win rates. Wait, I'm kind of changing my mind halfway through my play here.
I never make two trips.
I was like gonna go Furious Fouls, and then I realized that I don't have a minion to make this, so questionable plays, NoHandsGamer here.
I bask in the twilight. I bask.
It's actually good I have an answer for their 8/8 now, so.
The merging is complete.
Rot number 802, welcome to the collection.
Welcome to the blah blah blah. Hey, shit, this okay, Chad, I'm surprised at my own genius of keeping Furious Falls there. VS said in their, like, I feel their previous report. Who's my OG friend to me? I know, right?
Annihilation commencing.
Swiftly.
Annihilation, come blah blah blah.
Who could put a price on such powerful artifacts? I could.
is a flame, my cursed
Need a royalty.
I should trade into the Divine Shield minion there. That was dumb. I don't know why I did that. We'll be okay though.
I remember this place well. Swiftly.
You can steal Shutter Block, which is pretty bad for us here. Because their what's it guy is pretty good now. Wait, this is actually, they don't kill him, which is nice because the 7 health is huge here. Ooh, that's bad though. There's some good spells there. I was gonna go Wish Upon a Star there, but I think this is nice. Maybe this is dumb. I don't know. We'll see. We did let him set the 1/1. But he didn't set the 1/1, so fine. Now I can go triple Fairy Tale Slime.
Lane's cruel grip shall be met.
Ooh, they're going for the lethal, but they don't got the lethal. I'm surprised they didn't go triple Templar earlier, but maybe it's because oh, because they don't have the full combo here. Alright, see if they have lethal here. They don't. I think we win. Today, I hope you like it, Quirk. You know, you're a good player, Quirk. You're gonna know a lot of the stuff, alright? That's like this. But it's So Fury Hunter said like, you know, he kind of knew most of the stuff, but it still was helpful, like to create the structure around the learning process. So like if you're reading and you're like, I know this, that's okay. But like you're looking for those few things of like, oh, I do this, and then I convince you, like, you know, maybe you shouldn't like go on that, like you have to, like, sometimes you're gonna be pushing for number one for your first time and you're gonna get close and you're gonna this, you know. They sent you the wrong book? Wait, how did that happen? That's funny.
Smart moves.
All right, let's see what we came in. Rank 7 legend. Let's go, dude. Another day, another completely dominating the ladder. No big deal. I was here.